72323. LA 21 12670. Offices in Baton Rouge.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Get your college football fix all year long on the Chuck Oliver Show. The king of college football brings you 2 hours of live and local college football talk throughout the year.
Weeknights from 6 to 8 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Monday, June 12th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 95. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of Weekend Winners at 8 a.m. and Hold the Mayo joins the show at 9:15. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN or catch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Let's go, boys! Crank that diesel, Jake! Crank it up! Where we going?
Omaha?
We're going back to Omaha, boys! It's been too damn long! 7 years! Wandering the desert! Looking for trophies! And now we head back to the land of milk and honey. 5-0! Perfect record! Whoop, whoop! Dylan Cruz, dude, coming through! Paul Skeens, the bullpen! The bullpen's incredible! Tigers getting it done! I don't care, Oregon State, get out of here! What a game! Kentucky, more like Kentucky, get out of here! More victims to come, but what a job. Promises made, promises delivered by Jay Johnson. And once again, the Tigers are back where they belong. Absolutely love it, fellas. Absolutely. What a weekend it was. Didn't always feel great. Saturday, there was a lot of crap talking going down. A lot of second guessing, a lot of questioning, yet in the end, where you end up exactly where the plan was to be the entire time. As the Tigers get it done, sweep Kentucky, and now find their way into the final field of 8. Again, the first time, y'all, since 2017. It's been a long time. And 6 years, bad math by me. But still, it's a long time, over half a decade since you've been where you kind of consider to be your birthright. I mean, just fired up here in this Monday morning. We're going to relive it all, talk about it all. We'll look forward a bit, probably celebrate more today. Jake, what's up, man? How you feeling?
Feeling good. Like the lyricist of our generation, Waka Flocka Flame, said, it's a party, it's a party, it's a party.
Yes.
And it was a party in Baton Rouge. Rain or a lot of sunshine. Either way, the crowd showed up. The box was rocking. And to your point, over half a decade, it feels like LSU baseball just needed this. They needed to get back to Omaha. They needed that juice inserted back. Not that the fans didn't show up, but that was a different level of juice in the box over the last couple of games. And my, oh my, was it fun to watch.
Yeah, get a little Saturday night action at the box. Adam Henderson had a great meme tweet over the weekend where, it's a SpongeBob, write that down meme with LSU football, watching LSU baseball turn a day game into a night game. Genius by Coach Jay Johnson. Morale was low there for a minute, though. Many people think, oh, my God, the game's going to get pushed back. They're going to have to call a doubleheader. But in that final window, that 9 p.m. window, it ends up happening, and it ended up being super fun. It's kind of funny. We talked about it a little bit because we only ended up doing like a 30-minute whiskey and wine, like before the game even started, because we couldn't do post game or whatever. Yeah. So, but like in that, we kind of talk about, when you think about the summer and some of your greatest summer memories, right? Like those summer nights from when you were younger, they were long, right? They didn't start till late, and you always kind of had that nervous anticipation as you were heading to the party or whatever it was. Maybe it was at the camp, or you're going out to some field. Maybe it's just a simple house party, but like you always had that kind of butterflies in your stomach. Where is this going to end up going? And you never quite knew. But it's no longer that hot anymore. It's actually bearable to be outside. You get that feeling. It just feels like the world is your oyster at that point, right? You got nothing to do the next day, and you're fully locked in. That's kind of how it felt. One of those weird, excellent, exciting, but nerve-wracking summer nights that you end up having some of your best times on. Never quite know where they're going to end up. And, sometimes you end up making some of the best memories of your life hanging out with people, and that's exactly what happened Saturday night. As Saturday night was just a celebration, right? You want to talk about a no-stress game in a high-leverage spot, Jake? Just like, it's just a home run derby. You got Skeens on the mound, so nobody's touching the field. Basically, everybody's just, or nobody's touching the scoreboard. Everybody's just, like, at down one, everybody's just hanging out, just drinking, toasting, celebrating every time another home run was hit. It was, just what a fantastic summer weekend here in Baton Rouge.
As soon as you went up 4-0 in that game, having Paul Skeens on the mound, like you truly felt like the bottom of the third, the game's over.
Yeah.
Because of who you had and because of the bats, it like that feeling just doesn't happen very often, certainly in a super regional against a team that is in the SEC, in a team that is number 2 in the RPI, a team that's kind of pesky, and it's like, they just don't go away. You felt like they couldn't come back.
Yep.
And so to your point, and you had to wait a long time. You had to wait 7-8 hours to get to that point. But once you got there, again, the box never went away, though. That's the great point that I want to make. The box never went away. I mean, you're talking about a 14-0 game, but they stayed locked in. They stayed engaged, and the team did as well. And that first game, you're just like, okay, I don't know that Kentucky can do anything to beat this team twice in a row.
No.
Turns out they couldn't.
No, even though, look, and Ben McDonald said on the broadcast, and everybody's great in the call, whether you're listening on the radio to Blair over the weekend or Ben and Tom, who I think really did a fantastic job on TV. But there was one line last night where it's like, if it goes to a game 3, Kentucky might have the pitching advantage. And I was like, Ben, shut up, man. We need to put game 3 in the air. But I shouldn't have been worried because your best player came through for you in the moment. And maybe, Jake, there's so much to talk about here, like, because there's a lot from the 2 actual games that we should get to. There's a lot of kind of season-long thoughts you can engage in. Like, I think it's fascinating, the shape the lineup has now taken.
Yeah.
Right? Like I don't think anybody, even like halfway through the season, nobody would have fathomed that the current setup is what you would have ended up with, which is a credit to Jay Johnson. So I want to get all this stuff. Maybe should we just to kind of start this thing as kind of a rangefinder? Do you just want to go around and talk about something that you love? Because if I were to start, I love Dylan Cruz going out on top. I haven't collated the final numbers from this super regional weekend yet. But I know regional weekend he was most outstanding player, and he was like 8 of 13, all the crazy stats. He was incredible again. Yesterday seemed like he walked 17 times. Like his Ben said swing decisions. His swing decisions are immaculate. He is a human K-zone. Yeah. Like he just seems to know. He doesn't chase anything. He makes you earn everything. And then if you choose to pitch to him, what they did at the end there, he makes you pay. And you saw that intimidation factor where bases loaded, he kind of forces a wild pitch that he gets out of the way of, and then, of course, 3-1, he comes up with the big insurance hit to basically seal the deal. There's the visual, Jake. The crowd's going into it. I got goosebumps. The visual of him with the gray jersey holding up the Tigers, just like mission accomplished. It's what he came here to do to bring the Tigers back to where they belong. First ever player back-to-back SEC Player of the Years. You know all the stats, right? Maybe going to be number one. We all know maybe the best overall position player in LSU history. And now he gets that moment in the box that will live on in the minds of many for years and years.
Yeah, just to piggyback on yours before I get to mine, him holding up that jersey, holding up the Tigers in that spot, that showed, man, I came here for this. This is why I came to LSU. It's about team, and I now have that moment. He knew that moment had been realized when he's standing on second base. And so as someone who played for LSU just like you, like we can appreciate that because – you know, that name, these letters, all of that means a lot to us, and you knew what it meant to him in that moment. So that's an awesome
sacrifice that goes into a moment like that, right?
Millions of sacrifices.
That's what I'm saying.
Because he would have been drafted in the first round.
Oh yeah, that's true. Literal. Yeah, like that's one of the quirks about baseball. You're right. Literal multi-million-dollar sacrifice to even get the opportunity to get that point, and then just years. I mean, your entire life has been leading up to that moment, and Cruz comes through. So what was something that you loved?
Jordan Thompson this year, just the entire year, and to cap it off with one of the best plays that you'll ever see a college shortstop make. Last year, I mean, we'd come on here, we'd talk LSU baseball, and the chat and Twitter, and everybody's filled up with Jordan Thompson hate and what he can't do. He should be replaced. And a lot of people, look, he's not from here. He's not close to being from here. He's from Chula Vista, California, okay? He didn't go somewhere else because it wasn't going just the right way or he had to hear about it. And he's come up with clutch hits his entire career, but how he worked on his defense.
Yeah.
Time and time again in the offseason. And not like just said he was working in the lab like you see on social media. No, you didn't see any of those posts. He just goes out there and does the work. And now, I mean, we all see it. It's showing off. I mean, the play that he made yesterday is what he can do, but just consistently throughout the entire season. And anytime he's hit the shortstop, you see the arm that he has, and it's not like any other arm over there in college baseball, and that's playing in the SEC. He's special. He's a hard worker. He didn't take his ball and go somewhere else. He stayed here, knew the player that he was, and I thought yesterday was a great kind of, hey, last time probably in Ally Box Stadium, here's a play that you'll remember me by.
What a play, dude. I actually clipped it and sent it to my like kind of high school friend group, right? They're all Alabama fan stuff. And so they're always like, nobody cares about baseball. And even they, I sent it just to prove how incredible college baseball could be. And even they had to kowtow to the greatness that was that Jeter-esque from the outfield, spinning in the air, perfect laser, beating the runner. What a weekend. Mario, Taylor, I don't know how much baseball y'all engaged with this weekend, but give me one thing that you loved. It could be from this year or this weekend alone.
Man, you had a lot of good moments. I would say one of Travinsky's clutch hits. I feel like he came up huge for LSU a lot.
True.
He's going to be an important player in Omaha.
We have somebody saying, T-Bob, how nervous are you Saturday night when Travinsky came with the home run derby with 2 runners on base? Not nervous. I'm at the point now where, I mean, I would be only too happy to do it. Like I would rather Travinsky do it. Oh, and
we
so
were
I do have
so close.
We were very close. For those that don't know, Jake pulled a nice veteran radio move, and while we had Travinsky on live, unexpectedly outmaneuvered me and got me to put my beard on the line for a bet, right? If he hits a 3-run home run, 3 runs specifically, then I have to do the Travinsky. I got to shave the beard and only keep the mustache and the soul patch. But I think, did you say you were going to do it as well?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Foxhole guy.
Yes,
so,
and then, so I also talked about like 5 or 6 people over the weekend that are going to. So, for the boys, I think that we should extend it through Omaha, and I would like to invite as many of y'all out there as possible to join in with us in this escapade, so that if it does get hit, then everybody ends up with the trip. It just feels like a good energy move, right? It feels like a good karma move going into Omaha.
Yeah, I mean,
we can all ride together.
LSU baseball a lot of times has like Rally Possum and different things. Like maybe this can, and they had T-shirts that had kind of the Doc Holliday on them in the locker room the other day. So
did they really?
They did. I have to show you a picture. So I feel like we can extend it, and God, we were like 8 feet total away.
Yeah.
Like 3 feet the first time, and then about 5 feet the second time.
If there was any wind.
Oh, my God.
If there was any wind in the air. It was a hot, dead one yesterday.
I thought the second one.
Yeah.
And then he almost got up in the last at bat. If if Morgan doesn't have that awkward swing, which, by the way, he had a hell of a weekend, but if he doesn't have that awkward swing, he gets on base, we would have had one more opportunity for it. I'm watching the game, and LSU's up, and I kind of grimace a little bit because, I really want to see T-Bob with this facial hair. And Katie kind of like, hey, what's going on? I told her about the bet, and she's like, again? I'm like, yeah, again, to the warning track.
I think we had like 3 opportunities over the weekend. So close. But okay, Taylor, do you have something that you want to say you love?
I love that he left Gavin Guidry in last night.
Yeah.
You watch in the 7th inning, he put 2 guys on base, and then they show Thatcher Hurd warming up in the bullpen. I'm like, don't pull Gavin Guidry. I mean, I personally trust Guidry on the back end of this bullpen probably more than anyone at this point. He's done it time and time again. He left him in. He trusted the freshman at the big moment, and he came through once again. I love that he left him in.
Yeah, Guidry seems like your closer. Like if you need you got 1 inning, maybe 2.
It's got some stones. I'll tell you that.
Well, okay, so that's what I was going to say, right? That's things I love from the weekend here. Gavin Guidry loves the stage. He loves the stage, right? You can see it. Yeah. He's jawing. He's performing. He's kind of like feeding off the crowd's energy a little bit.
It's almost like T-Bob, if you don't have that, like, hey, you're not coming in today. If you're like up 10, Guidry, you go sit down.
Yes, no, I
that's
agree.
what makes him who he is.
It's like how you get Blake Money, you just go ahead and take care of game 1. But no, Guidry needs a little tension. He needs that high leverage spot. The crowd pop, the big K was in the 8th, right?
Yeah.
The crowd pop in that strikeout is one of the audio highlights of the weekend. And again, that stage is only for those who have no fear, right? And he goes beyond not being afraid of it. I think he actively craves it and he wants it. And there's actually a pretty good anecdote to this end, Jake, where I read this in a D1 baseball article this morning. When the Wes Johnson news broke last weekend that he was going to be going to Georgia, that Guidry popped into Jay Johnson's office and told Coach, look, it doesn't matter who's calling pitches. I'm going to strike everybody out anyways. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so that's the type of attitude that Gavin Guidry's bringing to bear. Why don't we do this? We need to it's so much good to break down. Okay, let's go to break so we don't go too long here. Stay a little bit on the clock.
Hey, we can finish it up. Not finish it up because we're going to talk all day about Tigers going to Omaha.
That's probably going to be the whole show. Maybe like a little detour for weekend winners. We got spread lines. But, when we get back, we'll just continue with things we love. You can put yours in the chat as well because I'm sure there's so much to love that I'm sure like everybody's going to have something different that's worth getting into. So, look, if you're watching on youtube.com/1045ESPN, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back with more next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. For all your plumbing needs. You need somebody who's going to get it done the way the Tigers got it done this season. Well, okay. You need Central Plumbing. Everybody's licensed, bonded, insured. They've been at it for 50 years, y'all. Flat rate pricing, great warranty, everything that you need to make sure that your pipes are taken care of. Centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org.
Yeah, once you go to the website, you will see that the full fleet is ready to go. So that tells you that no job is going to be too big for them. Now, certainly, it's not going to be too small either. If it's at your home, they can come in. They can get it done. If it's an emergency or if you're looking to upgrade. If you want to upgrade the bathroom, if you want to go new tile, new shower, new vanity, whatever it might be, they've got you covered. Also, if you want to go tankless with the tankless water heater and never run out, take all the time. Get home late from the ball field, got to do laundry, got to do dishes, still have to shower. Never run out of hot water with that tankless water heater from Central Plumbing.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a...
Charles Sandegriff joined me and Jimmy out for Live at Lunch on Monday from Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill in Denham Springs. We're recapping all the college baseball action from the weekend and what's going on the Monday. Big Mike's, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's going on, yo? Welcome back. So that right there, sorry, if you were listening on radio, maybe like, what is this? Just kind of general people. That was the team doing the victory lap last night. And look, whether it was just how packed the stadium still was at that moment as these Warriors get their roses, or like Jake mentioned last segment, just the fact of how insane the fan base is to stay locked in for a 9+ hour weather delay with no actual weather and still stick around and pack out the box and make it as crazy as possible. That is why that building is so special. That's why the culture is so special. And that's why Jay Johnson had those great quotes after the game about how, hey, look, if you're in the transfer portal, I hope you were watching this because you're not going to get this level of commitment, fan buy-in anywhere else in the country.
Did you say after the game? Because it was during the game.
What's that?
That he said that.
Oh, that was on the mid-game interview?
Mid-game interview.
Oh, wow.
Savage.
No, I didn't know that. I just saw the
puts on it,
I just saw
and
the
they ask
clips.
him about like the atmosphere, and he basically goes Cruton in the middle of a game.
So did that happen on Saturday?
Yes.
Okay, because we didn't have game sound really in the bar.
He put on the headset and went Cruton in the middle of a game.
That's I mean, hey, and it's a good pitch. So he made it into a night game just to juice it up a little bit, made sure it was the only show on TV, and then went Cruton. Jay Johnson continues to think on a higher plane of existence than us mere mortals.
Yeah, I was trying to think exactly what the quote was. I got it right here. I hope every good player in the transfer portal is watching this right now because this doesn't exist anywhere else.
Yes, that's exactly it. And it doesn't. And that's a credit to everybody listening right now and everybody who went out to the box or stays locked in and supports this team all year long. And really, Jake, this is probably we should stick to more immediate conversations, but in the age of NIL, there's never been a better time to capitalize off of emotional and cultural buy-in, right?
Yeah.
Because that translates to economic buy-in, which translates to a massive advantage over a lot of the rest of the country when it comes to baseball.
Because of the buy-in, because of the resources you already have, and that's what T-Bob's talking about. There's only a handful of places that have this kind of buy-in. I would actually say there's not a place that has more of a buy-in, but there's only a handful that are even in the conversation. LSU is in the front of that conversation. So you're on national TV, right? You have all these ears. Of course I'm going to put it on. Now, it takes some you-know-what to do it, but Jay does it, and Jay doesn't really care. And then people see that. They see exactly what they can do. You know, maybe you're deciding high school or go to the draft like Dylan Cruz. Well, you see that. Maybe that changes your mind. And this weekend over at the box is the perfect example of what LSU baseball is. And I say it on my series show all the time, and there's some people that don't believe me. I'm like, it's bigger than some big league ballparks. Like we start talking about the bottom feeders, the A's and the Marlins and others, like that is much better than that will ever be, right? And it's our own version of big league ball here.
Yeah, and Jay's talked about it plenty in terms of like how, and also just from a I mean, certainly there's advantages from a quality of life standpoint going to a college over trying to make the minors, right? Immediately out of high school, but also even in your best path to becoming the best, like your best player. I think more and more we're getting, as the quality of the college game improves, we're learning that the best path to accomplishing your pro goals probably lie through attending university. Speaking of transfer portals, I saw this on Hunt's Twitter yesterday. It comes from Kendall Rogers, but Wichita State two-way superstar Peyton Toll just entered the transfer portal. He struck out 97, walked 19, also hit 311 with 13 home runs and 50 ribbies. That's the type of guy that Jay Johnson is talking to in that mid-game interview. All right, other things that I loved from the weekend. Very simple here. The belly bomb to win the game, Cade Beloso. Guys who, how can you not cheer Cade Beloso's story and the culmination, like what a story it is. Tears his ACL, celebrating the pregame huddle last year, thought he was done. I thought he was done. I mean, like, I'll never forget talking to his dad, Hot Rod, earlier this offseason, and basically in my head as we're talking, thinking like, man, you know, it's cool that Cade came back, but like, I think it's probably, his team has so much talent. It's probably kind of all she wrote, right? Like maybe he can bring some leadership, some juice to that room. Well, what about bringing all the leadership and juice and bringing the bat? Because he is your certified stone cold DH, and he comes up huge when you needed him to set the tone early on in a game that now he can always know that he came up with one of our, arguably the play to send his team that he worked so hard for so many years to Omaha.
I would put him into a category, like for me next, of 4 or 5 guys that we had nowhere close to this lineup in the fall.
Yep.
Beloso's in there. Travinsky's in there. Gavin Dugas, because he had eye issues. He was hurt. Didn't really know if he was going to be a part of the plans as far as being in there every day. Braden Jobert is in there. Now, Josh Pearson, he had a great year last year for a freshman, but certainly at times this year after the beginning of the season, like we didn't see him. Like he was going long stretches where we just didn't see him, and now he's back into this lineup. So for me, it's all of those guys coming up big. Yep. And you didn't expect any of, like you certainly didn't expect Travinsky, Beloso, Dugas, Jobert a little bit. He had a really good year last year, but again, he's kind of like Pearson where he disappears for a little bit. It was hard for him to get consistent playing time at portions of this season. And that to me, you know me, I love it. I love every piece of it because those guys stayed locked in. Like T-Bob's talking about, Beloso could have been okay just being a veteran leader on this team, the hype guy who holds the jukebox. He didn't want to do that. boombox, whatever it's called. I don't really know. He didn't want to be that, right? He wanted to come and show he has something left, and boy, does he have something left. I mean, him and Travinsky right there, 4-5 in the lineup. Not a single LSU Tiger baseball fan had Travinsky and Beloso being 4 and 5 in this lineup in a super regional going to Omaha.
No, I mean, even that is your start. Even having Cruz and White at 1-2 is still weird. I mean, they looked locked in at 3-4 for a long portion this year when you were playing very good baseball. But again, I think that's all a credit to Jay Johnson, as the man is always willing to make a decision that he believes could potentially make the team better. It's not to say you're going to 100% make the right calls, but he is willing to, right? He's not just kind of stuck in his ways, and so it's how you end up developing a bullpen that ends up being as solid as it was. I mean, boys, you look now, the bullpen's fine. We said it going in, right? Coming out of Hoover, like, actually feel good about the bullpen coming out of Hoover. They played really well recently. I think they've solidified that over the last 2 weekends, and it culminates last night, in which, look, Ty Floyd was certainly not bad, but it was a labored performance, and not being able to land his breaking ball. I mean, he's having to rely on the fastball, and every now and then they were tattooing him, right? I mean, you saw the 3 home runs. Well, then what happens? You go to the pen, and Riley Cooper continues his excellent run as of late. He seems to have found that form that he had last year, and then Gavin Guidry comes in, and they give you 5 2/3 scoreless. Supposed to be the biggest weakness, and now it's looking like a strength.
Only gave up 3 hits.
Yeah. I didn't even realize that.
The bullpen only gave up 3 hits in over 5 innings. They only walked 1 in over 5 innings. And so, to your point, the BBG is out there balling right now.
Yeah, the bad body god is on fire right now. Another thing that I love from over the weekend, shout out Riley Cooper, who my daughter is thinking to call him the Fat Man, which I really like, because that's actually a badass nickname. Okay, Jake, what's something else that you loved about this weekend?
I also can appreciate the fact that the guys that kind of did stay, not only are they playing, they help, and I know it's kind of the theme of what I'm picking out here, and y'all know me, that's going to go a long way with me, but we talked about Dylan Cruz being able to now have that experience in the box and go to Omaha, but other guys like Beloso, like Dugas, having that opportunity to kind of put a stamp a little bit right now. Now, you still have bigger things to go after and get, but they have now that opportunity in the lineage of LSU baseball. I have to imagine, T, if you don't go to Omaha, no matter how good of a player you are for LSU baseball, you're going to leave unfulfilled.
Yeah.
You're not going to have that fulfillment of going to Omaha, because you look up there, you see the Intimidator every single time you walk into the stadium. You know who's come before you, and that's right, wrong, or indifferent. That's the bare minimum for LSU baseball. At least that when I was in school, when you were in school, that's the standard. Get to Omaha, we'll figure it out once we get there.
Agreed.
And then you have a couple of players now that are going to have that opportunity and to be valuable pieces on a team that has that opportunity. So for me, that group getting back to Omaha was certainly something that's going to stand out.
Yeah, you got your you're right. It's Beloso, Joe Bear, a lot of these guys are kind of blue-collar Louisiana guys that have grown up kind of loving LSU, and now they're the ones destined to break the 6-year drought.
I mean, Joe Bear's path to LSU, I know they laid it out yesterday, but to go to Nichols and then go to Delgado and then come to LSU, that man worked hard to get to LSU. He could have stayed at Nichols and been a hell of a player. He was his first year there.
He had a home run against LSU.
Yeah, but he wanted to come to LSU and be a player for LSU, and he came to LSU because, just like the rest of us, he grew up watching them go to Omaha. Now he gets to go to Omaha.
Other things that I loved from the weekend, certainly Trey Morgan. I wish I had Trey Morgan's final statistical output from the last 5 games, because he was someone who, I mean, you think about Trey Morgan's path, Jake, he was such a phenom freshman year, played so hurt the following year, right? And then this year has still been so solid, right? But it's a solidity that you kind of took for granted. And at times he was kind of struggling a little bit, and he just found his form. He is peaking at the exact right time. I mean, smashing home runs, consistently getting on base, the confidence that he had when he had that just unreal freshman year seems to be back, but only with years of experience and salty just game, just games and games hung on the wall under his belt. Trey Morgan was fantastic.
Yeah, just some quick math. He had 5 hits. He had 4 runs. He had 3 RBIs. He had 2 home runs. I know he walked twice yesterday. Just had a really nice weekend. And I know why you didn't have him at first base at portions of this season, because of the way Jared Jones was hitting, and you wanted his power in the lineup. And Trey was playing a good left field as well, and Pearson was struggling. So it all made sense. But, my gosh, having him over there at first base, like when there's a throw now, you don't worry about it. And not to say that Barry Jones was bad over there, but Trey, he's just different. Trey Moore's different than anybody else in the country.
Well, yeah, you're right. If you look at the just look at the play that we were celebrating for Jordan Thompson, we kind of ignored the fact that Trey Morgan had to do a full it's not a middle split. What do you call it when you have one leg in front of the other? Whatever. You all saw it. Just a full stretch split to find a way to keep his toe on the bag and still catch that ball. It was fantastic. Okay, we'll just continue to celebrate the elements of this team that need to be celebrated and point out. Continue to keep your comments rolling in the chat as well. And yes, the fat man is with a PH, Avo. So that's a good call. Hit the like button. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford has up to $7,000 off MSRP plus 0% financing on new 23 Ford F-150 XLT trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big V and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
So have a great weekend. Join me Monday for the Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3. Either reacting to LSU's season, previewing Super Regional Game 3, or getting ready for Omaha. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. T-Bob, Jake, Mario, Taylor, the whole gang back after some team vacays. And what a weekend it was. LSU punching their ticket back to the box. Emil providing a little perspective for how long it's been, saying Corn Hub fact of the day. The last time LSU went to Omaha, Bob Diaco was preparing for his Nebraska DC year under Mike Riley. It's been a little minute. Entire lifetimes have been lived since that moment, and Bob Diaco now finds himself on the LSU staff as a defensive and special teams analyst. Crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. All right, other things that I loved. I mean, we haven't even mentioned Paul Skeens yet today, and it's because his greatness is so consistent and so automatic that it is easy to take it for granted. I never want to do that, and I feel like we've done a pretty good job, right? We've always said to, enjoy Paul Skeens Day, make sure you watch, enjoy these final moments. Like, who knows when you'll see this again, right? I mean, think about it. What, last time you saw this would have been Aaron Nola about 10 years ago? It's a full decade in between these Comets passing, and I hope you did, because once again, Paul Skeens was just every bit as dominant as he is all the time. And this time, he didn't really have to. I love the fact, Jake, that he could have done it like game one against Kentucky last time. We could have allowed some runs. It wouldn't have been a big deal. Yeah. But I don't know if he was mad about getting, their media packet bragging about how they hit him more than any other team had on the entire year, but he said, not this time around, boys. Domination.
And his presence on the mound, just the way he handles himself on the mound, like it's a whole vibe. And when he goes out there, he competes against every single person. And we talked about it last week. It is not like this full effort, herky-jerky type motion. It's just flicking his wrist. And you just don't get those very often. You mentioned it. I mean, Nola, a decade ago, and even at a place like LSU, you don't have guys many times that every single Friday you're like, all right, we're going to win Friday, and then what are we going to do on Saturday?
Yeah, exactly.
And, you can't take that for granted. And I don't think LSU fans have. I mean, LSU fans have kind of known exactly what they have here with Paul Skeens. He gives you, yet again, another performance. Love that Jay took him out when he did so he could get his curtain call, because he certainly deserved it. And now you're going to see him go against the best of the best, which we've seen in the SEC this year, and it hasn't really mattered. And so I'm looking forward to seeing him, be it Tennessee, be it Southern Miss, whoever wins that game today, which I know we'll get to, T. But I just don't know that there's a lineup in the country that can touch him up enough not to give you an opportunity to win that game.
And doing all of this in a year in which college baseball set a record for home runs, right? And there's been an offensive explosion, and ERAs are way up. So in a year in which you're not supposed to be able to be good on the mound, he's been better than good.
Well, I mean, ERA's up, batting average and all of that.
Yep.
We talked about the offense being up, and the strike zone is smaller.
Yep.
All of those things combined say that he should not be able to be doing what he's doing right now.
And I think there's a juiced ball. Remember, many have been telling
right.
us that there's,
and that's
there's
kind of
something
what makes,
going on with the balls.
And it's not like saying guys from the past 5, 10, 15 years didn't do it at a high level as well, but it makes it even more impressive that it's just like I talked about with Oklahoma softball last week. The fact that they win over 60 games, lose one in today's softball when there's a lot of buy-in, there's resources, it's not like 20 years ago, it makes it more impressive. Same thing with Paul Skeens here. Everything going against him, even good pitchers that we have seen dominate before, Like their ERAs are up, their strikeouts are down. Doesn't matter for Paul Skeens.
Noah Lejeune has a good one here. He gives a final running back tally. What am I talking about? RBI tally in the tournament.
We talk running backs.
Yeah, exactly. So leading the way, Dylan Cruz finishes with 8. Trey White with 6. Tommy Tanks with 6. Trey Morgan with 4. Hayden Travinsky with 5. Kay Belosa with 5. Dugas with 3. Joe Bear with 4. Thompson with 4. Pearson with 6. I mean, as Noah says, there is no break. You want to talk about things to love? Pearson entering as that 9-hole hitter and refining his form has been fantastic because he's so consistent down there and has been recently, Jake, that it's kind of like Cruz and Tanks are batting 2 and 3, right? Like it's getting turned over to your best guys consistently, and you're seeing like how else does Dylan Cruz in the leadoff spot end up leading the team in ribbies over this 5-game tournament stretch?
We talked about it last week. You have 2 leadoffs, right? Outside of the first inning, you are going to, once 9 comes up with Pearson, that's what you're considering that second leadoff. He's led off in his LSU career. It's a young LSU career, but he did it at the end of last year, and he has been performing. There's not a break.
No.
And that's what makes this LSU team so dangerous, and it's got to be frustrating because every time they come up, you'll see other teams like, this guy's batting 250. He's got 4 home runs on the year, like 7, 8, 9. Start talking about when you go like to Joe Bear, who's been batting 7th for LSU, like he's got double-digit home runs.
Yep.
Right? And you saw what Pearson, can do now that he's locked in. Jordan Thompson has double-digit home runs. Like, think about that. 7, 8 both have double-digit home runs.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lineup in the country that's still playing that can give you that.
And Pearson's a bit of a wolves in sheep's clothing because if you just look at the overall numbers, you're like, oh, okay, well, that's not, 250. That's kind of, it's okay. But he's really just another 300 guy at this point because that's what he's actually been doing as of late.
He's the only guy in the lineup right now that doesn't have double-digit home runs.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's because he just didn't play because he did have some struggles in the fall and here in the early portion, the middle portion, but he has found his swing. I think about that. The only guy in the lineup that doesn't have double-digit home runs, and we've seen in the postseason, he's certainly got the power to leave the yard.
Playoff Pearson, that's what they're calling him, dude. All right, let's go to break. When we get back, we're going to wrap up hour number 1. We'll kick hour 2 off with weekend winners as we continue to celebrate the Tigers returning to their birthright, returning to Omaha, Nebraska.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come on, live Baton Rouge. Ah, no matter what you put me on through, gotta send my love down the
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Harper's Haberdashery, Highland Road just south of I-10, next to French Market Bistro.
After further review with Matt Moscona, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. We are recapping the weekend at the box. Hopefully starting to preview the College World Series. Join us Mondays, AFR 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
That means a lot. It started right after kind of heartbreak of losing in the College World Series. I mean, the opening game in 2021, we had the lead against Kumar Rocker and Vanderbilt late, and we'd played great that night. And it was a tough loss in extra innings, and then got eliminated by Stanford. And then they approached me and said, hey, what do you think about this? And probably wouldn't have gone anywhere else, but the gentleman sitting back there, Coach Bertman, made this the place. And I thought, wow, this is a once-in-a-lifetime, once-in-a-career opportunity and dream come true. To be a part of this, with him and all his great players and Ben McDonald and Todd Walker and all the great assistant coaches. I grew up, I'm 12 years old, I had an LSU baseball hat on in Northern California, and watching the purple jerseys run around Omaha all the time. And so to get to coach this team in the College World Series is, I'd have a hard time putting that into words, but it's pretty special.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
It's wild, man. It's wild, man. A lot of echoes of it's funny because I'll never get Jay Johnson's opening press conference, right? A lot of that was kind of the theme of it. Him establishing, look, I know him from the West Coast, but you got to understand, like, I'm a bit odd. I've been in love with college baseball since I was a little kid, specifically college. And when I was a kid, LSU was the team. So it didn't matter that I lived in California, and it's all about what Skip did. And there's an awesome image from last night as well that we got here in the doc of Skip talking to Jay Johnson. And yeah, it's like he said, it's the culmination of an entire lifetime of work. And look, we just saw Coach Mulkey go win a national championship in year number 2. Well, huge hats off to Jay Johnson for essentially making what is the equivalent of the Final Four for the sport of baseball. Going to Omaha in and of itself is already special, but doing it just 2 years after he was tasked to do it, right? To bring back a program that, it wasn't like they gotten awful, right? It definitely wasn't the full rebuild job that Coach Mulkey dealt with in like basketball or anything like that, but the program had slipped. Remember, Ben McDonald talked about all the time, Jake, they were 500 in the SEC over like a 4 or 5 year period, right? And no Omaha visits in between. Well, Jay comes in with a team that's not that talented. They take down 17 SEC wins, now 19 this season with the national seed, and now it's just awesome, man. Congratulations, Coach Johnson.
Yeah, look, and Jay's somebody that has been in the postseason. He knows what it feels like. He knows what it looks like, and he had a good thing going there at Arizona. I mean, you start talking about 2016, they were runners-up in Omaha to Coastal Carolina. They made another run as he just laid out there his last year at Arizona in 2021. I mean, this is somebody that played coaches winning baseball. He did it at Nevada. He did it at Arizona. He's now doing it at LSU, and you have to be excited if you're an LSU fan. Someone who has that experience in Omaha has gone all the way to the final. Now he's leading a different horse to Omaha and LSU than Arizona.
Yeah, and he's got two of the best, two of the Golden Spikes finalists. He's got a lineup that's hitting 1 through 9. He's got a bullpen that has been great as of late. Don't get me wrong, there are other superpowers that are going to have to be contended with, but a hell of a job, hell of a team that you're taking over there to Nebraska. Hour 2 next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to RejuveMeMedical.com, restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. Rejuve me, man. I felt a little rejuvenated after this weekend watching that LSU baseball team. Maybe you did too, but that's just a little bump, right? If you want that extended boost, why don't you go get your free consultation from Rejuve? Get your labs drawn. Maybe something like HRT is for you. Maybe not. Maybe a little semaglutide, a little metabolization optimization. Like the pathway to being who you want to be and getting your body where you want it to be lies through Rejuve Medical. They got locations in Baton Rouge, Metairie, Slidell, and now Shreveport as well. RejuveMedical.com.
Maybe you're dealing with mood and memory problems. Maybe it's sexual dysfunction. Maybe it's weight gaining weight, and you can't explain it. Or maybe you're not losing weight like you used to. You're working out, you're eating healthy, used to fall off, now it's not. Well, go check out those labs over at Rejuve Me. They can tell you exactly what's going on with you. RejuveMeMedical.com.
Get 3.99% financing at Corvell Toyota in Opelousas on select 2023 models. And we also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
Turn my music high, 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 yeah. Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood can swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you could run the slalom. The cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. With personalities clashing, chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like this Wall Street.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most.
Good morning, everybody. It is 8 a.m. on Monday, June 12th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 95. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of Weekend Winners coming up next, and Hold the Mayo joins the show at 9:15. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? What's going on? OTB! Go Tigers! Back to
Omaha Tigers bound? OTB.
Oh, I was like, what is this? I thought you were doing like
I tried to do like,
thing.
well, it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, Omaha Tigers bound. Yeah,
OTB, and you like Yoda, so I figured, why not?
Omaha.
Shoot our shot.
Omaha Tigers bound they are. Man, okay, look, if you're not here to listen to baseball talk, I don't know. Look, we're probably just going to keep talking baseball all day long. I mean, we didn't even get into the rest of the Super Regionals. We haven't even gotten into the tournament. I still have thoughts on this team and other elements that I want to celebrate. Your
wife's okay with you having thoughts?
Yes, I've got plenty. I keep 4 to 5 on rotation at any given time.
There's a Scion joke to be made, but it's not coming to me.
Yeah. Well, I taught Big Z. I taught him the ways. Everybody knows I have just the exact same amount of attraction to the opposite sex that Zion Williamson does, for sure. Don't question it. So this is actually going to be one of the segments where maybe we get into a little stuff that's not LSU baseball, but as you're going to see, I think a lot of this weekend winners will also probably be LSU baseball. So let's go ahead and dive in. Every single Monday we do it. Weekend winners.
That's how winning is done.
That's right. We can't have anyone freak out there, okay? We've got to keep our composure. We've got too far.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
Are you doing what it takes to win a championship?
Wow, winning.
Well, then I guess there's only one thing left to do. What's that? Win the whole thing.
All right, my first weekend winner is Hot Rod Beloso. We mentioned Cade Beloso, kind of, one of the heart and soul members of this team, comes up with a huge 3-run home run yesterday. Well, Reed Darcy has a tweet with Hot Rod here, and you can see him just a smile on his face. Great dude, but that's Roddy Beloso. That's his father. And a security guard got the ball, got the 3-run home run, and managed to find him and give Hot Rod the ball. I mean, that is every dad's dream right there, to see a child succeed on such a big stage, right? Especially given what it must have felt like as a parent to have his son get injured in the way that he did last season, and just how demoralizing it must have been. Because, sometimes, oddly enough, and I'm starting to gain perspective on this, Jake, it's almost easier to go through when you're the person that it's happening. I'm talking about being the athlete, getting the torn ACL, whatever it is, than it is to be the parent and not want your kid to have to experience in any of this, but you can't really do anything. You just have to sit back and hope that you've prepared them to take on this sort of adversity. And so for that to now culminate in him having the ball that his son hit, the 3-run home run, just a fantastic parenting arc there.
Yeah, that's a good one, T-Bob. And, us both, having children, even at a young age, Like you can kind of get that feeling, but not even close to being on that stage. Know how hard he's worked to get to be able to wear an LSU uniform and to now have his moment. I'm going to stay in college baseball, but I'm going to go to another team, Oral Roberts, the Golden Eagles, 51-12 on the year, which you're like, wait, they were a 4 seed. How? They're 51-12. They haven't lost a game really since Moby Dick was a minnow at one point in this season. I mean, they had this win streak, and then they have heartbreak in the first game.
Yep.
They were up 8-0. They lose that game.
That's crazy.
And then they're down a couple of different times. They fight back. They just don't allow that first game, right? What do football coaches always say? Don't let one loss become two.
Yep.
Well, they didn't allow that, and they came back, and they win the game. Then they win yesterday as well, and now they are going to Omaha. It's a great story. It's a team that certainly deserved to be higher than a 4 seed, but they weren't. They didn't complain. They go out there, they win, and now they got a chance to win the ultimate prize.
Now they are the 3rd 4 seed to ever make Omaha. They join Stony Brook, which, LSU fans can appreciate that, and Fresno State,
who won it all,
ended
right?
up winning the Natty.
Yeah.
That 4 seed Fresno State team did, which sounds crazy. So shout out to Oral Roberts. Also, I mean, Mario, 2021, they had the tournament run where I think they made it to the Sweet 16 or maybe the Elite 8 or something.
Recently. They beat Ohio State in the second round, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it the first round? 2-15 matchup.
Recently, they made a run, yeah.
Mario, what you got?
Yeah, E. Smith was the point guard who's still playing college basketball.
There you go. Crazy.
Wow.
Speaking of basketball, shout out to Sylvia Fowles. She had her jersey retired yesterday in Minnesota for the Link. She's been retired since last year, so immediately they recognized her as they should. Very decorated player. 2 WNBA titles, 4 Olympic gold medals, WNBA Finals MVP, which she won twice, and a 4-time WNBA Defensive Player of the Year, and a league MVP to boot. So she had a great career. LSU women's basketball is doing great things right now with Floje and Angel Reese and Kim Mulkey, and they're probably going to win more championships. But it's important to remember the people that laid the foundation for the program, including Simone Augustus and Coach Pokey Chapman and obviously Sylvia Fowles. So shout out to Big Sil getting her jersey retired.
Yeah, that's a great point. That team was so damn good and has 2 of the best women's players that we've ever seen in college basketball, and then it translated to the WNBA. But that team didn't win a championship. It's so hard to finish it off, win a championship. Now, they went to, 5 straight Final Fours. They had an opportunity, but never got past that point and never won that championship.
Taylor, you got a little weekend winner, Mr. Nashville over there, Bo?
Yeah, I do. It was going to be Sylvia Fowles, but Mario may jump over here and slap me for this one. Look, I got to go Denver Nuggets weekend winners. It was Friday night. I'm watching the game in my hotel room in Nashville. It was just one of the most complete games I've seen of an NBA Finals team in quite some time. The ball movement, the shot selection, the shooting percentage. They're going to close this thing out tonight, I believe, as well. The weekend winners, the Denver Nuggets.
It's actually wild just how clear it feels that they are the best team in the NBA.
Well, it's funny. When the Lakers got eliminated, LeBron said up there in the press conference, he said, look, I know we just got swept. He goes, since I've been in L.A., he said, that's the best basketball team I've played.
Yeah, I mean, that's... And
he's been there for 4 years.
And I know the Lakers didn't have the best regular season, but I think we kind of do take for granted how good they were playing and how just it wasn't even close. And it does make you think, had they not dealt with injuries, where would the Nuggets... I mean, they could have already maybe attained this, right? Because didn't Jamal Murray get hurt a couple of these runs?
The last 2 years he's been hurt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? So it's,
Well, and if we're being honest, they should have swept this series. I mean, I know everybody was high on the Heat. The Heat shot 65% in the fourth quarter and did miss a 3. I mean, they had a historic run. Denver should have swept this series.
Yeah, Jimmy's really gassed. The Heat role players are getting outplayed by the Denver role players. And since the conference finals, Aaron Gordon's been one of the best players in the NBA playoffs. He's made a huge difference for the Nuggets.
Yeah, and then you have Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you talking about? All right, my next weekend winner. This will be. Oh, and actually, shout out Brian Burgess, who says weekend winner, the security guard who gave the ball to Hot Rod Beloso. I agree. Very thoughtful, right? A lot of people may want to keep that ball for themselves. No, very thoughtful job right there. You know who you are. Wish I could shout you out by name. My next weekend winner, I'm actually going to go to the world of golf. This is a crazy highlight. Nick Taylor is a Canadian who won the Canadian Open over the weekend. What's insane about that, he's the first Canadian to win the Canadian Open since 1954. It had been 69 years, and he did it with a 72-foot walk-off eagle putt, Jake. 72-foot walk-off eagle putt. Watch this.
Leaf flag. Good pace. Are you serious? Oh, my goodness! Glorious and free!
And then we'll keep playing it for a little bit. You don't have to necessarily play with sound, but as you continue to play it, what you're going to see is some cat comes in there spraying champagne, and an overzealous security guard takes him down with a beautiful, perfect form tackle. Well, it turns out the dude spraying champagne is Adam Howard, who is another Canadian PGA Tour member and one of his best friends. I got a couple other angles on Hatwood too. If you want to play those, they're so good.
I'm not gonna lie, I was rooting for Tommy Fleetwood. He's an Evertonian. But you know what? I mean, he finished second and probably won a lot of money.
Yeah, and it's not like it's a major, right? So it's like, look at this, Jake. The super.
Oh,
look at the security guard though. What a job, dude. Fighting around the block.
And then the caddy realizes exactly like, oh no, that's Adam.
Hit a little dip and rip.
He did.
For what it's worth,
Is that Big Fave? Look, you tell me it's not Big Fave.
Look
Rip.
at him come around the corner.
That's Fave.
Oh, it's incredible. For what it's worth, Adam's wife said he's all good. So they had a good.
Oh, he had some fun with it. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, look, he got some pub without winning. So.
Yeah, and look, and to be fair, I kind of get it. It's a little heat of the moment from security guard there. He's just doing his job. Wow, big security guard weekend winner day today.
It is. Obviously, I just mentioned being an Evertonian. I'm an Everton fan, but I have to tip my cap weekend winner to Man City. They win the treble. They win the FA Cup. They win the Premier League, and they win the Champions League. All three. Man City gets it done. Gosh, how can you not like Pep? I mean, their manager is one of the most likable guys. I mean, he had an appearance in Ted Lasso this season, and it's a team that's a lot of fun to watch. They don't really have any villains on their team. They just have a lot of guys that go out there, play well together, world-class strikers, and the whole deal. Man City weekend winner.
Imagine this. I don't know if you know how well you know Chuck Nelson, great listener, friend of the show.
Cowboys fan?
Chuck. Yeah. So I learned this weekend. Chuck is a Cowboys fan, a Celtics fan, a Yankees fan. I already knew this.
Oh, my God.
Imagine my shock.
Man City.
When suddenly he's talking about how he's been a Man City fan for 30 years and I came up in the mud with him. Blah. Just so convenient that he just happens to also be a big Man City fan. Get the hell out of here, Chuck. We can lose it.
Yeah, Man City was horrible for a long time, but that is a front-runner move. How do you like the Yankees and the Celtics?
Don't. He has like stories about all of it. Like he's got some connective tissue to each team that he stretches the limits of incredulity with. All right, what we got? Who's next?
Just real quick, Novak Djokovic won the French Open over the weekend.
Yeah.
It's his 23rd Grand Slam title, which is a record. That's impressive. Don't have very much to add, but thought it was worth mentioning.
Well, the wild thing is, to me, y'all, he did this at a time going against the other two guys that just set the record, right? Because didn't Nadal and Federer?
Yeah, he was. So he was on the back end of Federer,
Yes.
but yeah, Djokovic beat both of them pretty consistently over the last 5 to 10 years.
It's like having like 3 Michael Jordans exist at the same time. It's absurd.
To be the man, you know what you got to do.
Serbia, hot right now, right? I mean, Djokovic is Serbian, I believe. Nikola Jokic, Serbian.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, boys, weekend winners, Serbia. What you got, Taylor?
I got a weekend loser for us.
All right, Danny.
And I love doing this one. The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Yes.
Weekend losers. They kept game one a lot closer than I thought they would against Wake Forest. They lost 6-4, but yesterday in a must-win, gave up 9 home runs and 22 total runs to Wake Forest to lose 22-5. Weekend losers, Alabama Crimson Tide.
Oh, man, you love to see it.
Didn't quite cover the spread there.
Weekend.
Well done. We got a bunch inside the chat here. Champ weekend winner Joey Burrow dropping bombs at batting practice. We had a video.
Of
I think we had that video. I'm not sure that we never got to it. He was taking batting practice there.
Did he have a mouthpiece in?
For the Reds? And I think it's just his veneers.
No, bro, those were not his veneers. He had to have a mouthpiece.
I don't think he did.
It looked weird. I don't like that then. I don't like that. That was the only time I didn't think they looked great.
Weekend winner, T-Bob Hebert beard. Unfortunately, it gets to live on.
Yeah, I know. I agree with the unfortunate part. Like, I'm only too willing if Cade does it.
God, I mean, well, not Cade, Hayden.
What did I say, Caden?
Yeah. Are you about to extend it? Because I think he has it too.
Yeah, no.
Now, his is blonde. You can't see it as much.
No. It's not a Caden bet. It's a Hayden bet.
Okay, well, you said Cade, not me.
I know. That is the combo, Caden. Okay, no, but if you miss an hour one, we are extending the bet. I'm inviting anybody to roll with me. I know many of you already are. Through Omaha, if Hayden Travinski hits a 3-run home run, we will shave our face and only leave the mustache and a soul patch.
I actually did like a quick mock-up of you. It wasn't a bad look.
I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
It all depends on what happens and what has happened with my chin with the weight loss. I mean, I don't really know because I haven't seen it in 10 years. But last time I was clean shaven from the
picture you posted
2011 Media Days. That's from SEC Media Days. And they put that up in the Georgia Dome, and all my friends were clowning the hell out of me. Dude.
I looked at it. I was like, oh, and Katie goes, "What?" I go, "This picture, T-Bob, doesn't even look like him. Doesn't look like he's related." It was something.
It's.
So, we all have them. I mean, we all have them.
But that is what has been hidden underneath this, and I just haven't seen it. It's so long. I don't know how it's going to go.
No, that was not. That's not hidden anymore. That was a long time ago.
All right. What else do we got? Oh, weekend winners. Nice. Bill Bush doing radio in Nebraska now. Just reaching out saying we got to talk some LSU this week. It reminds me of my next weekend winner, Rocco's. Is it Roscoe's or Rocco's? Roscoe's, right? Or Rocco's?
I think it's Rocco's.
It is
the shot
Rocco's.
place?
Yes, the shot place. Because, what do they say? Records are meant to be broken, and I got to imagine LSU is coming for the Jello shot crown. Did Ole Miss end up breaking Arkansas's record last year, right?
I think
so. Does Arkansas still have the record?
One of the two. I don't know.
We'll have to look it up. Either
Doesn't matter.
way,
They're both at home.
I will say this. Also, the prices on the Jello shots were up to $4.50 last year. I mean, if you are Rocco's, you are basically robbing. Like, you have an ATM this weekend.
Yeah.
The profit margins on those have got to be some of the highest in all of business. And yet you're going to have LSU alone looking to buy like 9,000. I think Ole Miss might have bought like 13,000 of them or something.
So
it's unreal.
You know the scene in the bar where it's like the big screen and everybody puts whatever they're watching. The whole bar goes wild.
Yes.
People, like, that is what I imagine that bar did when LSU had the final out. I have to imagine, like, that's actually what it looked like in real time because they knew as soon as LSU was going to Omaha, whatever the record was, it's going to be broken. And then you've got other SEC teams there that are going to try to, hey, well, LSU can't be the only SEC place.
Wow. Avo in the chat says Ole Miss had almost 19,000 last year. That might be unhittable.
Well, you're going to have
unless you stick around.
What Ole Miss also did, though, is they had people like that would call the bar like donors and pay for it over the phone and just pass it out to the whole bar.
Makes sense. Okay, there you go. Okay, get it done.
This place is like, dude, we created a bidding war with Jello shots.
I mean, so just rough like napkin math. 19 times 5 is what, 95? Is that right?
You said 450, right?
Yeah, but I'm just doing $5. Let's say 19
look,
times
it's
5.
quick. We have a calculator.
Okay.
$85,500.
A good couple weeks, dude.
And that's just Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Not to mention those other teams that were trying to keep up.
Oh my God! All right, what you got, Jake? Anything else?
I think I'm done.
I have more, but we kind of got to go. I'll say this real quick. Weekend winner or weekend loser. Did y'all see the Miami Heat mascot or the skit with Conor McGregor where not only are they down 10 in the fourth, which is like an awful time to do any advertising, but they had a whole skit with Conor McGregor to push some product, and McGregor hit the punches the mascot who looks so goofy anyway. Dude ends up going to the hospital. Talking about lawsuits now. And then there's also a video that's called up from back in the day of an old ESPN piece, Jake, where Deontay Wilder broke a dude's jaw in the SportsCenter studio. He was dressed up like a punching bag, and he caught the bronze bomber to the jaw. What an awful... You want to talk about not worth? Like that poor production assistant who's in that suit and just got his jaw broken by Deontay Wilder or the guy... I mean, the McGregor guy's fine. I think you got to check out the concussion or something.
Yeah, what are we doing here?
But, just bad.
I have a couple more, but they're with video, so maybe we can play them later on in the show.
I agree. And then last one, it should have been a winner, and it's kind of both, but the New Orleans Aquarium just reopened, right? Huge $41 million renovation. Looks incredible, dude. I already loved the aquarium. It opened up over the weekend, and on Saturday or Sunday morning, people showed up to work and found bullet holes in it.
What?
Yeah. Some windows got shut out on the outside. Yeah, a bullet cracked a window inside in the insectarium. Just an awful look for the city. But yeah, it sucks. It still looks incredible. It seems like it was a great weekend overall. It's just such an ugly thing to have to mar what is a first major renovation in 30 years. Again, I can't wait to go check it out. And it wasn't like it happened during hours, it happened overnight, but it's just pathetic. Sucks.
Why can't we have nice things?
Yeah, I mean, this is why. Because
why can't we have nice things here in our state?
And then weekend winner. Oh, no, I lost it. Well, I'll get his name, but somebody ran 2 miles in 7 minutes, 54 seconds to set a world record. I can't fathom.
If you run a mile in under 7, like you're getting it. Like I'm not saying like you're setting a world record or anything, but like as an everyday human, if you can go out there, stretch, and run an under 7 minute mile, I feel like you're in pretty good shape.
Yeah. No, 100%,
he ran
yes.
2 of those in barely over 7 minutes. It's insane. Like what we say the pace was, like 49 seconds.
Yeah, right. Is that what it is, Taylor? Basically, it's around like sub 50 if you're talking about per lap, per 400. Like a very good high school 400 time.
It's about 48, 49 seconds per lap.
My God, how is that?
I mean, he
awesome.
all out sprinted this for 2 miles.
Yeah.
He could have been a badass messenger like back in the day. Good, pre-internet, like Greek times. You need to get a message to the other city. Send that dude. Get you there quick. All right, when we get back, more OTB. Let's maybe look at some of Omaha as a whole, or who else you'll be squaring up, how they got there. Coming up next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com, where every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, even if you're talking about a Toyota certified used vehicle. Okay, that great warranty. Not only are you getting a great deal buying used, but you still have the peace of mind that your vehicle is going to be taken care of. Thanks to your friends over there at All-Star Toyota. And whether it's the sales staff, the service staff, everybody in the rentals department, you're just not going to get better customer service as they find you and your family your answers off of Airline Highway at All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.
Probably got a vacation coming up. I know a lot of people do in the month of June and certainly in July. Well, if you have a trip and you're wondering how you're going to fit all of the luggage, how you're going to fit every human in that vehicle because your midsize SUV is just not big enough, well, go rent the Sequoia. Go rent the Sienna minivan for your trip. Per-day rental prices, fantastic per-day rental prices. You can find them online, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $25,000 off new 22 Ram 1500 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 7.
Charles Sandegriff joined me and Jimmy out for Live at Lunch on Monday from Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill in Denham Springs. We're recapping all the college baseball action from the weekend and what's going on the Monday. Big Mike's, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
The Storyland, Monday morning, March.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Jake, you have a little bit of a quizzical look on your face. That was me as well. I had never heard of that man that we just saw, but apparently that is, I want that to become a Monday morning regular at some point in the show, maybe to open hour 2 in the future, but that's old Buckskin Bill. And apparently all the old heads here in BR, that's how they used to wake up every Monday. That was like the kids show. Buckskin Bill would have his show in the morning. It was like one of the only shows you get. I think it was on WFB back in the day or something. And then I can't remember what it was in the afternoon. But yeah, like it got brought up at Don Juan Saturday, and all the OGs were all freaking out about Buckskin Bill. And Taylor, how do you know about Buckskin Bill?
Yeah, so, as like a joke, a little fun thing, around our kitchen counter, snack bar, whatever you want to call it, we were little. Sometimes my dad would make us get up and do the Monday morning march. We're like, oh, Dad, we don't want to do that. But looking back on it, it's kind of a little fun thing we did for a laugh when we were kids.
Yeah, so apparently that's how everybody used to get hyped for Monday, dude.
Just like a
kids.
Moscona thing? Did he know about it?
No, it was Chuck. No, it was Chuck Nelson that brought it up, and then just talking to a bunch of other people. Yeah, because okay, you know how it started. Chuck was explaining his fanhoods, how he got to Celtic, and he was saying, we only had X amount of channels. Mm-hmm. They were the teams on the channels, whatever. And then he started talking about how, all you could watch if you were a kid, you were hyped up for Buckskin Bill every morning, and specifically the Monday morning march just used to get you fired up.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched G.I. Joes when I was waking up in the morning. It's not Buckskin Bill.
Buckskin Bill's probably a
Buckskin
little
Bill
more
sounds
wholesome,
like
dude.
a serial killer name, though.
It
I
absolutely
mean,
does.
and Mario's shaking his head. That's the ultimate confirmation we can get.
But but look at the heat from Buckskin Bill's outfit. I mean, the white tassels. He's got the white cowboy outfit on with the white tassels. Truly, one of the BR media OGs. We got to show. Like we talked about. Mario talked about it. Building the foundation that comes for those after, right? Sylvia Fowle, Simone Augustus, Buckskin Bill. Laid the foundation for the house in which we currently
Bill
live
right now.
Shout out to the Monday Morning March. It's gonna be stuck in my head
He was
all day.
Buckskin Bill Black. He was a member of the East Baton Rouge Parish School Board from 1994 to 2010.
Good man.
He was born in Oklahoma, passed away at the age of 88 in 2018.
Yeah, rip.
God, he went for a long time. Like his shit, like that was a thing for a long time.
Legend, dude.
Yeah. He also won the Golden Deeds Award in 1975 from the Civic Council of Baton Rouge.
I'm gonna be walking around just all day, dude. Exactly. He deserves it. I'm gonna be walking around all day. My mind, now jaw is now set thanks to Buckskin Bill and the Monday Morning March. Also,
All right,
Taylor,
Buckskin. I mean, look, do your thing.
It's a wonderfully wholesome story about you and your siblings being forced to do the Monday Morning March around the room to get a little juice going before school, get ready for the week. I like that.
Yeah, man. We didn't do it all the time. I mean, I vaguely remember. I was young. My little brother probably wasn't even born yet when we did it. I mean, I was maybe 5, but yeah, something we did.
All right, T, you're gonna love this. He's also famous for helping raise funds to get the Baton Rouge Zoo built after promoting the cause on his show in the late 50s and through the 1960s.
There you go. And now the zoo is about to get their own. They're going through their whole own reno right now, which is going to be fantastic when it's done. The new hippo exhibit is up. I believe it's open. Last time when it had just gone up, I was peering through the cracks in the fence to see the hippos. And that new entrance when it opens up is going to be really just great as well. So shout out to the OG, Buckskin Bill. Steve Cortana says, 65 years old, I can tell you that we watch Buckskin Bill every morning and marched every Monday. His sign-off line was, Baton Rouge needs a zoo. I mean, you want to talk about being a positive influence in the community? Shout out Buckskin Bill. Trey Earl says, if I recall correctly, Buckskin Bill Black had the longest-running children's program in the country. That'd be sick.
Steve, at 65 years old, I can tell you that we watched Buckskin Bill every morning and marched every Monday. His sign-off line was, Baton Rouge needs a zoo.
That's awesome, man. Shout out Buckskin Bill. All right. Let's look at who else made it to Omaha over the weekend real quick, and we can continue to dive into this LSU team as just what a fantastic weekend it was. 5-0 through this tournament. Wake Forest smashed its way to Omaha as well. Pretty similar, Jake. Tied an NCAA tournament record, 9 home runs in their super regional. Like Taylor said, a close first game, but I mean, just beat the brakes off of Alabama the second time around. And the first team since 97 LSU to win 4 tournament games by double digits.
Wake Forest, and I put this out there on Twitter yesterday, is as locked in as any baseball team in the country. Certainly a number 1 seed over the last couple of years. They've struggled just to get to Omaha as a number 1 seed. We all know the stat. Miami in 99 was the last number 1 overall seed and the only one to win it there in Omaha. And this Wake Forest team, man, if you watch them, and I'm sure in Baton Rouge I haven't done a deep dive into the Demon Deacons, but I've watched them a lot, man. They do it the right way.
Yeah.
They've got 2 aces and a third arm that's damn good. This lineup was going to be the question mark, but they have hit. They got a class about them, too. Like, it's not over the top. It's not Tennessee from last year. They go about their business. They put their head down. They go to work. I mean, it is a true, like, blue-collar, go-to-work, hard-hat, grit type of baseball team. And it's a team that is going to be dangerous. They are set up, like, the way they are formatted, they are set up for postseason.
Yeah.
With the way their pitching staff
Nobody
is,
has
with the
the pitching
bullpen. They don't, no, not even close. Now, LSU has the best pitcher, but they've got 3 that can beat you on any given day, and it's going to be a tough matchup for whoever faces them. They get the winner, if I'm not mistaken, of Stanford and And they will be on the same side, bracket 1, with LSU.
It's the first time for Wake Forest back in Omaha since they won the Natty in 1955, a 69-year gap, longest gap of any team.
Wake Forest
been there multiple times.
I mean, Wake Forest's athletic department deserves to get some love. I mean, what they've done in football over the last couple of years, Steve Forbes in basketball has them competitive over the last couple of years. Baseball now doing what they're doing. It's a school of about 8,000. It is a tiny school, but they just continue. I think it might be the smallest Power 5.
Let's say that does not. I never.
I think
knew
it is
that.
the smallest
that's
Power
actually
5.
mind-blowing.
And their athletics, look, they're not winning championships yet. I mean, baseball certainly has an opportunity, but they stay in it. They're in the mix in a bunch of the core sports, the money-making sports, and so they're doing it right.
And they got cool unis. All right, when
I always thought the Demon Deacon logo is pretty sick, too.
Yeah, I love the colors. When we get back, let's go ahead and continue to break down the 8 teams that will find their way to Nebraska next here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
We're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Championship courses, Santa Maria and Beaver Creek, and 3 courses for the more casual golfers, the popular 18-hole Webb Park, and 2 9-hole courses, City Park and the newly renovated J.S. Clark. Rex courses are designed to challenge every level of golfer from beginner to pro. So come and get into the swing of things. Book your tee time online or find a course near you at golf.breck.org. That's golf.breck.org.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Hey, it's on. Have a great weekend. Join me Monday for the Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3. They're reacting to LSU season, previewing Super Regional Game 3, or getting ready for Omaha. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. Celebrating here. A return trip to Omaha. Got a ton of people watching at youtube.com/1045 ESPN. Hit the like button while you're there. Share with your friends. Let's hit it to 5. Let's get to 500, y'all. We're right at like 490. I want to see that concurrent get over 500. So go ahead and text your friends and tell them to sign on real quick. We're talking about other teams that made it to Omaha. We mentioned Wake Forest. They look incredible. Oral Roberts fights through Oregon and Eugene, fights through the Pac-12 champion to find their way in. They were a 4 seed, the lowest seed to reach Omaha since Stony Brook in 2012. Join Fresno State and Stony Brook as the only 4 seeds to end up making it. Fresno State ended up winning it. And Jake, as you pointed out, game 1 in Oregon, they had an 8-run lead that they blow, which broke a 21-game win streak. And then you want to talk about mental toughness. They come back. They get a walk-off dub in game 2, and then they come back from a deficit to win in game 3 and punch their ticket to Omaha.
I mean, to give up a lead like that, and I forget the stat, but it was like, once, I think, in postseason history to give up an 8-run lead. It might have even been the first time.
Yeah, I could see it being the first time.
To have a stat like that and then to come back. Like, not only win, but you came back in one of those games. You were down 7-4. You find a way to win, and you're the underdog. You're not in your own venue. I tip my cap to that. And we were talking about during the break. College baseball, just like professional, man, you just never know. And you get hot at the right time. Your pitcher has the right stuff that day. It's IC Stony Brook, Coastal Carolina, Fresno State winning a national championship. They're a team that's won over 50 games. So their league must not be that respected, but they've won 50-plus games, and it's a cool story. So now we're starting to look, T-Bob, at how it's going to play out. We mentioned Wake Forest. They're still waiting on Stanford or Texas. And so Wake Forest will play Stanford or Texas. Number 2, Florida, who clinched after beating South Carolina. Remember, they got swept by South Carolina in the regular season. They sweep South Carolina to get to Omaha. And then UVA, who Florida matches up with. So number 2 versus number 7. UVA, they lost the first game to Duke. Duke beat them 2 of 3 in the regular season. But they come back, and they really leave little doubt in the final 2 games there. So Virginia, who has won a national championship not that long ago, they're going to face off and going to be a tough matchup.
When did they win the Natty? I don't remember that actually.
16, 15, 16?
I did read that it's their 6th time to Omaha since 09.
They beat Vanderbilt in 15 or 16, I believe.
So about a decade and a half now, they've been one of the best, making about one every 3 years, just on average. Here, a little bit over that, actually, a little under 3 years. So, Virginia really just kind of quietly one of the more fantastic baseball programs in the entire country.
I think that was a Dansby Swanson.
2015.
Okay, yeah.
They won in 2015.
I think Dansby Swanson was on that Vanderbilt team. So Vanderbilt was stacked, but, UVA gets it done. We mentioned Oral Roberts. They're going to face off against an incredibly hot TCU team. Now, neither team is a national seed, obviously, for Oral Roberts as a 4, but TCU – They've not looked back this postseason. They have just run over whoever's been put in front of them. And how about the athletic calendar year for TCU?
Yeah, true. Big true. What they do in basketball, actually, TCU? But whatever. They make a football national championship. They win a playoff game. And now their baseball team finds their way to Omaha. Hell of a year for the Horned Frogs. But I don't really know what TCU and Florida did this weekend. I kind of missed it. How did they both advance?
Florida, just like I said, they swept South Carolina.
Okay.
Their pitching has just been really, really good, and they've come up with clutch home runs as well. Like Florida's catcher, like if he hits a hit, it's going to be a home run. type situation. He had another big one, has had a big postseason.
He's got a weird last name.
And then TCU also had a sweep of Indiana State. Didn't really ever look like they were, going to be challenged or in doubt. So they both are hot right now. And TCU is a team that, when you look at them, they've got all the pieces. I know they don't have a little number next to their name, but they have got the pieces. They are a deep team, pitching staff and lineup.
Let's go to break. When we get back, we'll finish up talking a little Tennessee Southern Miss. And we do need to mention Quinn Matthews from Stanford, as what he was asked to do this weekend is kind of unthinkable in modern baseball. So keep it locked. Again, hit the like button if you're watching online. More Off the Bench next here on 104.5 ESPN.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Get Gordon and get it done. Look, you need somebody who's going to fight for you. You want Gordon McKernan, 225-888-8888. All the 8s, no matter where you're at, just your area code, then all the 8s. It's going to get you in touch with the G team, and they're going to fight for you in the courtroom, like I said. But they also fight for the community. You can follow them on social media at Get Gordon and look at all the awesome stuff they're always getting up to. And then remember, all your favorite athletes, well, they're supported by the G team, okay? So the Godfather of NIL, making sure that LSU can reach these heights in this new age. 225-888-8888.
Yeah, once you go to the website, getgordon.com right now. Maybe you can't dial the 8s, but it's okay because you can have a chat with a live agent on the site. You can find a list of cases they can handle, past client results, all on the website. Now, if you can pick up that phone anywhere in the state of Louisiana, wherever you're at, just put that area code followed by the 8s. 225-318, whatever it might be, 888-8888.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
$4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7, The Tiger.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
This summer, retirement is a state of mind. Whether it's a mid-morning activity or an early bird special, grab a Coors Light and chill like you're retired.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $25,000 off new 22 Ram 1500 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come on, live Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down to
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
When is is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco, voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. We are recapping the weekend at the box, hopefully starting to preview the College World Series. Join us Monday's AFR 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
I wish I could get all your comments right now, but my old crappy computer, internet not working. Classic. Thank you if you're watching online. Hey, youtube.com/145 ESPN. Hit the like button. Jake, do you have do you care who makes it out of Southern Miss, Tennessee?
I've been thinking about it. Because I would love to play Tennessee, Tony Vitello, the whole deal. They kind of played the villain a year ago. Now it's a really good team. It's got a really good staff, and it's a challenge. But so is Southern Miss. I mean, Southern Miss beat you a year ago. And so for that reason, for Southern Miss beating you last year, a lot of those parts are back for that Southern Miss team. I think I'm going to go Southern Miss.
I do too.
Now, I understand them popping off last year. LSU came to your building, and it looked like LSU was going to find a way, and you found a way. Now you got swept by Ole Miss after that, but still, that is a big win for them. It's a good baseball program. They have built something. Their coaches last year, the whole deal. So either one of them, I think, is a team that I'd want to play just because of the storylines.
Yeah.
But I think Southern Miss, LSU, you pay back Southern Miss, you get an opportunity to do so with potentially Paul Skeens.
I want Southern Miss as well. I feel like Tennessee, okay, we already handled y'all. Get the hell out of here. I don't care. The funniest outcome of Omaha, though, would be Southern Miss winning the Natty. Think about that. Then you have Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and Southern Miss going back to back to back. Have you ever? I mean, I would venture to guarantee that there has never been a run in NCAA athletics where three different schools from the same state would win a national championship in the same sport. Absolutely, that's never happened before.
No, I mean, the only thing that would even come to mind is like Florida with Florida State, Miami, and
maybe they could have some potential too, but even then, I don't think it's ever happened.
I got to get on my guy Mincy a little bit. I had to pull up the tweet. He was talking about like Mississippi synergy basically, and Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and let's see if Southern Miss I think can do it again. I'd like to remind Benjamin that he's from Louisiana. I'd like to remind him that. I'd like to lay that out for him.
Also, if you're an Ole Miss fan, you can't be cheering for Southern Miss. Get the hell out of here, dude. Even though that would be the funniest if they had the bragging rights and got the most recent natty over the others too, and could just constantly talk crap to them. So we'll see what ends up happening there today. And there's also Texas Stanford, which somebody I probably wanted to get to during winters, but we never did. Stanford's Quinn Matthews. They threw him for a full 9-inning game, first career complete game. He threw 156 pitches, 16 strikeouts, and I couldn't find because my internet's struggling so bad. I couldn't find exactly how his appearances worked through this tournament, but I do know that he has now thrown 20 innings and 336 pitches in 10 days.
Yeah,
that people don't really do that anymore.
Had a 5-run lead as well when he went back out there. So a lot of people are talking about that. Like, I don't know if I'd roll him back out there with a 5-run lead. Now he's got 16 strikeouts, so obviously they're not picking up the ball. But, I mean, that's just a lot of pitches. But to Stanford's defense, like he has thrown at least 100 pitches in 15 of his 17 starts this year.
Yeah.
So it's not something that he's not familiar with, but 156 pitches.
I mean, I guess it's just weird.
That's
I
a
don't
little
know
old school. Like, I mean.
It's like I don't know the science as well as many of you out there do, Jake, but it feels like to me, like, okay, the 120 with Skeens, yeah, 120, I understand at this time of year, right? Because you do manage throughout the year and you've been kind of building to those moments, kind of saving it for when you can. But 156 is the type of outing, especially just that work in 10 days, 336 pitches. That's the type of stretch where you just kind of wonder, like, okay, is his arm ever going to recover? Like, is that one of those where, like, something's just different after that he doesn't have it? Maybe not, and I hope not, certainly. But, yeah, that's pretty wild.
Well, I mean, a lot of people point to, like, Madison Bumgarner in the World Series that he had. Like, he pitched, like, 73 different times, it felt like, in that World Series. But he did kind of have a decline since that, right?
It's weird, man. I don't understand the body well enough to really speak to the science of it, but there do seem to be times where you can just push an arm so far that it never quite recovers. Never gets back to whatever it used to have in the past.
I mean, there's old heads that used to go out there and just do that, though.
True.
I mean, this is not, like, for new age, like, it's almost unheard of. I'm sure Ben McDonald's thrown 156 pitches in a game.
I agree. I think it's just one of those things is when you don't know any better, you're like, okay, well, that's what my body's supposed to do. Now, mentally, you know, okay, this is kind of insane. And then physically, is your body ready to process that level of strain and that level of effort? But I guess I don't want to bury the lead here. That is awesome by Quinn. Your team needs you. And what do? You just completely lay it all on the line, selfless sacrifice so that your team stays alive. You force a game 3. You're at home, and you now have a chance to go to Omaha and really represent the West Coast. I mean, right? I don't know where's Oral Roberts at, actually. I don't know where they're at.
It's in the middle of the country.
Yeah, so there you go. I mean, as West Coast baseball looks to die, Stanford's kind of their lone remaining hope. Hour 3 of OTB next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bone.
Turn my music high, yeah. You don't know what you're doing. Sure I do. I'm from the streets with a hood to swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you could run the slalom. And cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. With personalities clashing, chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like this Wall Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet. The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Bayou Ford has up to $7,000 off MSRP plus 0% financing on new 23 Ford F-150 XLT trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Monday, June 12th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 95. Coming up on OTBOT, Hold the Mayo joins the show at 9:15. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. OTBOT, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, Peter said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? We celebrating, y'all. If you just joined us, the Tigers are going back to Omaha. That's right. Jello shots, everything else. A perfect 5-0 tournament run up to this point. And Jake, you know who deserves a lot of love? Our guy, Jay Johnson. Because he threaded the needle perfectly over these last couple of weekends. And what's funny is because, look, whenever the stakes get high, tensions get high. And so, like, people freak out about stuff. It's just what happens. I get it, right? It's born of anxiety and fear and not reaching the goals that you set for yourself. And so I understand how people arrive here, but like there were a lot of people making some very declarative statements on what they thought about his decision-making, right? Whether it was choosing to pitch Skeens against Tulane, of which some people were just like talking about, oh, this is so dumb, it's cowardly, it's yada, yada, yada. Well, it ends up being perfect, right? Or choosing for the really comic weather delay of Saturday in which you do not play a game, and it's a perfect, like, Jacques had the best video of the weekend where it's a montage of people, like, sunbathing, hanging out, and it's, like, current weather delay. It's just really the funniest weather delay I've ever seen. But, like, when we did Whiskey and Wine about 8:30, people were losing it. Some people left on one, thinking the game wasn't going to be played. Chat thinking the game wasn't going to be played. Then we saw Skeens coming out for the 9:06 first pitch, and everything started to change a little bit. But once again, perfectly managed by Jay Johnson. Day game turns into a night game. Paul Skeens get the complete game. No weather delays, no lightning, no BS. And LSU punches their ticket to Omaha. So,
and by the way, that was the NCAA making that call. Jay Johnson and LSU don't have the power to make that call. I knew a lot of Kentucky fans hit me up in the mentions and said, like, this is ridiculous. Like, you're just holding out. So you make sure that Paul Skeens pitches. Like, I wouldn't be mad at Jay if that was the case. But no, this is the NCAA that makes that choice.
I want to say, too, and I'm sure they're, like, consulting with the coaches in some regard, but I know Nick Mangione had a quote on Friday as well where he said, look, we cannot start a game that is going to immediately be broken up by weather. So it is a two-way street.
Him and Jay are good friends.
Yeah, it's not just a one-way street like Kentucky doesn't want their two wasted, their one wasted either in a game that they have to have. So it's huge credit to Jay Johnson, right? Because when you're in that job, every single thing you do, Jake, is going to be second-guessed. And what else is funny about it, I don't care how reasonable the set of circumstances were at the time in which you make a decision. All people are going to care about is, did it work or not, right? Like, I don't care if any logical person could sit there and say, actually, you know what? Given the that's the right choice. Even if it doesn't work out, nobody gives a damn. It has to work out, okay? And he made these choices, and they all work to perfection, and it's just a hell of a tip of the cap to the head man of LSU, who a hell of a tip of the cap to Scott Woodward, whose hires continue to bring the heat, man. Brian Kelly beating Alabama in year 1, Kim Mulkey, Natty in year 2, and now Jay back to Omaha in year 2.
Yeah, and I know I mentioned it last week, but I would love to get that sound. And BK, we asked him in Destin about it, and like, that's real. Like, when you look, and I think it was Shea Dixon that had this tweet, T-Bob, and I'll see if I can get it pulled up here in the segment. But he was just talking about all of the recent hires that Scott Woodward has made and what they're doing right now, and it's in every sport. That's what's like. It's not just okay. I got it right here, but it's not just like in the main sports. Of course, you've got your revenue sports, but so Kim Mulkey, we all know, national champ, year 2. Brian Kelly, SEC West champ, year 1. Jay Johnson, Omaha bound in year 2. You've got Clark for gymnastics, national championship appearance in year 3. Johnson in volleyball, NCAA tournament in year number 1. Coach Sean Hudson in soccer, NCAA tournament in years 2 and 3. Your swimming coach, who you just hired, highest men's finish since 1997.
Damn.
In year 1. Livingston, your diving coach, SEC Coach of the Year, year 1.
Sheesh.
So it's in every sport, and I love that. I love that it's not, hey, we're just going to be good in football.
Yeah.
Maybe baseball, maybe basketball. And I know that Coach McMahon, and they're going through it. This is going to be year 2, and obviously you take over a roster that doesn't have a single player on it. Probably year 3 is when you're going to start to see some of those improvements, but it is in every single sport: soccer, diving, swimming. I mean, we know that's just new coaches. That's not even talking about women's golf, where they're one of the best in the country. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's just the new coaches, beach volleyball, and what they've done. That's just remarkable that your entire athletic department right now is on a heater and kind of the top of a lot of different things.
Well, and it's remarkable to me because of the level of expectation that was heaped on Woodward. Because if you think back and you remember, Woodward was always, for years during the Joe Oliva reign, Jake, Woodward was this sort of prophesied savior, right? That was kind of dreamed about, where like, oh man, if you could get Scott Woodward back, like, maybe he'd be the guy. And to me, like, I think hiring is such an absolute crapshoot, right? Like that's why I roll my eyes whenever people are like, why don't we just hire the best person for the job, right? And it can be used in all sorts of contexts, right? Like, people use it to argue against affirmative action, all kinds of stuff. It's like, hey guys, who's the best person? That's kind of the entire point. You never actually know. Like, you never know how these things are going to work out. So to have the hit rate that he does, and the amount of different sports that Jake just laid out, it's like he's cracked some sort of secret code. Like, he has some ability to discern fundamental common denominator, like leadership traits that maybe others just don't see. Maybe it's ability to sell. Like, whatever it is, he has a certain combination of traits himself that allow him to just pick these winners, man. And that's a real special talent that should not be taken for granted and should not be just kind of hand-waved away.
I was with Scott, like, right after he hired Sean Hudson, the soccer coach, and LSU soccer had struggled for a while, and he's like, I think we just stole one of the best coaches that's out there. Like, I don't know why someone else hasn't jumped on Coach Hudson, but I think we just went out there and stole one of the best coaches. And so, like, he's doing deep dives into she was up in Colorado, and just, finds a way to do whatever he's got to do to bring in who he thinks is going to work. I believe she might have even been at like a Division II or lower level, but he saw there was something there, and so I mean his hit rate, like you mentioned, T-Bob, is incredible.
Yeah, and it's and it's all the way from the most important hires to the hires that a lazier man would just kind of, it doesn't really matter that much. You can just do this. No. Shout out Scott Woodward for again being painted as the savior and then actually following through on it. It's you. I just love anytime. It's like Dylan Cruz or somebody, right? Anytime you have great expectation and instead of wilting under that burden, you live up to it and then some, which really this entire LSU baseball team has done, having to carry the banner of being, hey, y'all are the best team in the country. You have more talent than the Mets farm system. Like, it's insane what this roster is, and to carry that number one ranking, to go through the injuries, to go through the struggles late in the year that they did, and then to come back and 5-0 this regional and super regional run and make it back to Omaha. It speaks to everything Jay talks about every Thursday with us, right? The leadership of this team, the character of this team, and the work ethic and mental toughness of this team. Man, it's been a fun year for baseball. All right, why don't we do this? Let's go to break. When we get back, we'll talk to our guy, Dem Snow, a.k.a. Hold the Mayo. We got him in the waiting room. Let's get our spread lines, our own Monday morning march, our Monday morning Mayo here on OTB.
OTB, OT.
Go to Riverlands Insurance, 225-206-1517. Speaking of leadership, speaking of knowing how to pick them, it's exactly what Thomas Email knows how to do. You call that cell phone number, and you're not going to lift a finger, man. Thomas is going to ask you for a couple pieces of information, and then he's going to go out and he's going to do the shopping for you, whether it's home insurance, auto insurance. Him and Megan, his daughter, the father-daughter combo, they're going to make sure that you save as much money as possible, but not while getting it's not saving. It's the best combination of policy and savings, and they do all the work. 225-206-1517.
If you're listening to us in the future in Shreveport, maybe live in Alexandria, New Orleans, certainly here in Baton Rouge, and anywhere in the state of Louisiana, Lafayette, Lake Chuck, we tell you all the time, every single day, like you call that 225 number because we are talking to you. Thomas can help anybody in the state of Louisiana. Give him a call right now. People had great success calling here during the live 225-206-1517.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood.
Charles Sandegriff joined me and Jimmy out for Live at Lunch on Monday from Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill in Denham Springs. We're recapping all the college baseball action from the weekend and what's going on the Monday. Big Mike's, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I've been out here waiting for nightfall. It feels so right when the lights don't fade. Days like this don't last, so we might start. We've been living like kings and we hope it don't change. We stand by the notion that anything goes. I'm feeling this motion from morning to close. And even when I text the day, we don't care. That's how we build on these memories we share.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Keep it playing for a minute. Oh, I wanted to get to the chorus. It's interesting. I was listening to the lyrics of this song, and I was actually kind of reminded of Saturday night. Because it's like it feels wrong, right? The weather delay felt wrong at the time. Summer nights so long.
See, I always listen to this song and the lyrics to me is like jumping off the porch when mom's not home, because me and my brother Adam used to jump off the porch into the pool like idiots when my mom wasn't home.
You said dive in, though.
Yeah, I tried to leave that out, but
I mean,
dumb.
because it's like a public safety announcement.
Don't dive off a roof into a pool.
No, you shouldn't jump either, but like really don't dive.
Yeah.
Because if you're jumping, you could snap a leg.
Yeah.
If you're diving,
hey,
you
we're
snap
here.
a neck.
We are here to tell the story, thank goodness, but you should not do it. Sorry, Chief.
Also, don't ever fall into a snowdrift. One time in New York, there was this record snowstorm. We were up there, and it still gives me the heebie-jeebies thinking about it. And I was like, "Oh, look at that snow!" And I just fell backwards into it.
Just kept falling.
And it didn't catch me at all. I smacked the ground. I moved the soda aside. There's a spiked garden thing like a foot above my head. It could have just freaking snapped my neck or impaled myself. It freaks me out to this day. So don't die. Just don't.
Just don't.
If you can't see it, do a little check first, okay?
Yeah.
Dev, what's up, dude? How we feel? It's time for little spread lines every single Monday. 9:15, our boy stops by Arby and our day today as well. HTMsports.com/shop if you're going to pick up some of the excellent merch Dev has. What's up, man? How we feeling today?
Feeling good, man. Imagine dying in the snow. That sucks.
Awful.
Dude.
It would have been awful, dude. All-time good trip too. I used to be obsessed with New York City growing up. Just like I don't exactly know why, but
Home Alone 2.
It was a birthday trip to New York City, in which we had a New York City record snowfall.
Yeah.
Which it was like the absolute dream come true. It would have been an awful way to go out, but we made it. Knock on wood. Dev, what's up, man? Where do you stand with college baseball? Do you care at all? Have you been on this ride at all?
Yeah, I mean, I'm man, how can I put it? Like, okay, say there was an interstate packed with a bunch of cars who are freaks about LSU baseball. Yeah. Like they love it. They're on their way. I'm probably like way in the back. Like I know what's going on, but I'm gonna be realistic. I'm not a huge baseball guy. But I watched yesterday. I bet on LSU yesterday.
Yeah,
took the 3.5. It's hard for me to take 3.5 points, bro. I agree. That's a lot of points, brother. But
Dylan Cruz coming through for you, dude. Getting it done in the night, getting the dub, dude.
So no, I'm all about it, man. I want to see him win. So, and then, dude, y'all were talking about Scott Woodward, bro. Like, for real, man, that guy, he should never pay for a plate of food again. No. Ever.
No.
This guy's unbelievable.
It's crazy, man. I just, something about getting older in baseball just go hand in hand. Like every single subsequent year of my life, I just fall in love with the pace of the game. And, you can kind of be doing stuff while you're watching the game. It's not like 100% lock in. Like the same thing that I used to not like it for, I'm starting to like absolutely love it for. And it helps when you get to watch this team.
Baseball games are going quicker, whether it's MLB or college.
So
they
much
just
better.
are.
True.
It's so much better. I mean,
maybe not with Nick Mangione's 17,000 pitching changes last night, but I get it. I get it. But no, you're absolutely right, Deb. That has been a landmark change this year for baseball. It's been great.
Softball's thinking about speeding up even more. Like softball's already a fast game, but if you watch Oklahoma in the Women's College World Series, like, Ball, the pitcher for Oklahoma, she takes a long time between pitches, and they were talking about, changing that as well, talking about maybe playing like an hour and a half softball games.
Wow. I mean, in this fast-paced world in which we live, people like that, right? Like,
I mean, and at the same time, man, like I've been to a couple baseball games in my life that, like, I went to Wrigley Field. I watched the Cubs play the Braves. Dude, that game just so happened to go to like 17 innings. The one Cubs game I ever been to against the Braves.
Yeah.
And dude, I'm gonna tell you, I was having the time of my life, dude. I mean, we were in there for hours.
I've heard Wrigley's incredible, dude. That's on my sporting bucket list for sure. All right, Deb, what we got on spread lines today?
Well, obviously, Freaky Z, just get that out the way because I haven't been.
I kept all the tweets printed out in my office. I don't know why, but I'm like, we already printed them. I just have to save these for posterity because I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, it's something else, man. I guess I just got to take the positive side of it, which is, hey, we're going to have more TV opportunities. The eyes are going to be on the Pelicans, Zion, everything he does. I mean, he's committed to New Orleans. He's trying to move girls to the West Bank. He's committed to New Orleans. Like, so there is some plus sides to it. It's just also, it's like, why, out of all the players it could have been, rather be on the Saints, LSU, the Pelicans, out of all the players it could have been, it couldn't have been Garrett Temple. It couldn't have been P.J. Williams, an offensive lineman. It had to be Zion that was doing the porn star drama.
Well,
and that's what kills me, bro.
But let's be honest. P.J. Williams isn't getting Mariah Mills to want to come hang out. He doesn't have the pockets that Zion doesn't have the pockets that Zion does. And and it is the ultimate example of, the young lion having to kind of learn how to navigate the pack, right? Like he needed to learn from the old head. He needed to look up how Derek Jeter did it back in the day. But he was, like my grandpa used to tell me, man, you got two heads, okay? And you got to be careful about the smaller one controlling the bigger one. And that's when you can get a little sideways.
Damn,
and that's what's going on with Big Z. I know.
That's one to live by right there.
It's Bobby Sr. That's the legend.
That's down the bayou right there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a bayou quote.
The same man who used to tell me that, constantly, if you eat oysters, you love longer. So continue to eat oysters. Rip, for sure. So what do you think, though? Is this stock falling or raising in all of this, Deb? You do pose an interesting question.
I'd have to say that it's because it has nothing to do with on the court whatsoever. So I'd have to say that it's rising because if anything, it's just like more people are now locked on to Zion. Like, dude, think about Ja Morant. He was probably like watching what was going on with Zion. Like, dude, thank God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
my boy, dude. My 2019 boy looking out for me.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I just hope that this dude comes on a rampage this year, man. This is as no excuses of a year ever. And we still in the NBA right now with the Nuggets and the Heat, but man, next year it's got to be the year, bro. It's got to be.
Well, and kind of buried in all this is he now is he's privy to an energy source that can be very impactful, which is dad power, right? Dad strength. He is now able, or will be able by the time next basketball season rolls around, to be able to tap into that. And that can do some special things.
Tap into
sometimes.
it.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. He's no stranger. Yeah, exactly. That's how he got here in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll see with Big Z.
Bro, it's just crazy to think, man. You can't write this, right? Go back to the day that we were at the Pelicans draft party. right? And we were about to draft. Man, I mean, I'm talking about on an absolute high that you can't even like feel it no more, right? And now to where we are now, it's like Mariah Mills is, you can't write this, man. This is crazy, man. Only in New Orleans.
Also, sneaky big winner Mariah Mills, because I'm sure the view count is popping off after all of this. Like, yeah, there's an economic angle to what she's got going on for sure. Though she did seem hurt. I'll say maybe that's one of the funniest parts about all of this is one of Zion's problem is almost being too nice. Because if you look at if you look at the text messages that were being put out there, I think the problem is instead of just being like, this kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
He had all these women thinking that like they were the one, like that they were exclusive, and he was just maybe being a little too nice.
Yeah, it's the old Tiger Woods. The old Tiger Woods. I mean, this is the Tiger Woods format.
I don't think Tiger was nice, right? I think Tiger kept that edge. He was like, look, I want to do golden showers, and that's what you're here for, okay? Like Zion, on the other hand, is a little more like, oh, I want to move you down here. I want to give you how I love you. Like it just seemed like a little more like he thought that he was dating everybody at once. Like I do feel like Tiger's dalliances were more transactional, where they knew what they were getting into.
The texts were wild, man. This last thing I'll say about it's like one of them. It was like, hey, when can you come to Texas? She was asking him, and he was like, it was like this date to this date. And I went and looked at the Pelican schedule. Of course, it's the first thing I think of. And so I go look at the Pelican schedule. He was already hurt, so he was already out. But it was when the Pelicans literally had a West Coast road trip, and it was literally like 4 games in a row where they were on the West Coast, and that was the dates that he was available to hang out with Mariah Mills. I was just like, dude, like. This is crazy, bro.
Little head controlling. Wait, Mario, what's the latest with CP3, dude? Is he actually waived or not? I thought I saw Frank Vogel out there saying that they want him back.
No, I believe he is waived, but he can go back to the Suns for less money on like a new contract. That is an option.
Dev, do you want CP3 back? Are we? What's your opinion? Because we had this debate on Friday. Does the CP3 booing, is that just Phoenix related? What do you think the opinion of CP3 is in the city?
You mean like the opinion of what people think about him down here?
Yes. Yeah, because I always got the feeling when I was living down there that it was not good, even pre-Phoenix Suns, that people had almost an irrational hate, like he hated New Orleans and wanted out of it.
Okay, yeah, but then AD did what he did, so I think we kind of like gave Chris Paul a pass.
Yeah,
that would be my thought on it, because the Chris Paul thing was a mess. I mean, you remember like the league was what was going on with the Chris Paul thing? It was like the league was like trying to maneuver the trade, or they vetoed a trade that we had.
Vetoed the Lakers trade because they were technically the owners of the team. Mario, give us the details.
Yeah, they had no owner. They were pretty much in limbo. The league owned the team at the time, and Dell Demps tried to make the trade. The NBA vetoed it.
Oh my God, Dell Demps.
A lot going on.
Dude,
got Eric Gordon back in return.
A lot going on. Not really a surprise.
Chris Kaman.
I mean, the all-time picture, Gordon came in, and who else?
Aminu.
At the Hilario Center, looking like they're lined up about to go to prison. Literally, because the Hilario Center was so cheap looking, but then also their faces. You would have thought there was it was a death march. I'm pretty sure if you watch the replay of the press conference, you can see them blinking in Morse code. It's Eric Gordon saying, like, it's like an old torture video, like, get me out of here, please, someone. But I guess what I'm saying is, like, it's time for reunion, right? I mean, because we can appreciate now that ownership was a joke. CP3 talking the other day on the Pivot about how they're coming into the building saying, hey, we're moving to a different city, blah, blah. Like, it wasn't CP3's fault that he left like he did.
No, and then also, I mean, let's just be honest here, bro. The best version of CP3 ever, I don't care what anybody says about him playing with the Clippers, it was in New Orleans. Like, that 07 year was just... like, that was as good as it'll ever get for him, it was epic, So why not, bro? Like, bring him back. Have a couple games where you wear the old school Hornets jerseys somehow.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying,
sick, dude? Yes, that would be really nice.
I'm sure you couldn't put Hornets on it, but just New Orleans on there. Yeah, and then do it. I don't know, man. Like, the only thing that holds me back about CP is he just can't. When the playoffs come, bro, he is not going to be healthy.
I don't care, because he makes the playoffs, bro, every single year. I don't care. That's all the Pelicans need to worry about. I'm not worried about championships. I'm worried about 2 playoffs in a row, which they screwed up. and they missed on, and still have not done in forever. So,
yeah, we were talking about them like
Cincy
Western Conference future odds and then the season they had.
Yeah.
I mean, like we were feeling good. I mean,
I know.
my man Dev had a futures ticket on Sixth Man of the Year. Like we were feeling good about it.
Yeah.
It was just that was a long time ago.
Jose,
I know.
underrated injury.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like a really long time ago. I still got that bet sitting in. They won't take it away. They still got it. The Pelicans plus 4,000. Yeah, it's like, dude, like this bet's been over for almost a year now. You know, it's crazy, man.
All right, Deb, what other spread lines we got?
All right, so I guess I wanted to touch on this real quick. First of all, it's Superman Day. You know, there's always a day. Every day's a new.
Yeah.
This is a day, and it's Superman Day. And man, I just, how many opportunities do we got to give Superman to be cool, bro? Like, is Superman cool?
I know.
If Superman was outside my house cutting the grass right now, I wouldn't say hey to him. It's like whatever, like you're just Superman. It's just, what do we got to do to make Superman like Christopher Reeves cool again? I don't.
It's kind of tough, right, Jake? Because how do you feel about Superman actually?
Kind of the same way, like, not as cool as Batman and others. If we're just strictly sticking with the DC, I mean, like Clark Kent, kind of a square.
Yeah, Clark Kent.
The alter ego is kind of a square. Bruce Wayne, not. So.
And well, I mean, let's be clear. Like, I mean, Bruce Wayne is the mask. Batman is the actual man, and that's a psychopath, right? But he is cool. He is cool. The problem with Superman to me is he's just so powerful, right? Like he's one of those characters that you always know that he can just dig deeper and come out with what he needs to. I think, in terms of making him an interesting character, I think you got to make him like a little more fun-loving. Like sometimes he works as a foil to Batman, where Batman's all like grim and broody, and Superman's kind of like happy and funny. Like that's why I think some of the Zack Snyder Superman stuff didn't work, because he was just so dour and serious. And I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of Superman is more about what he could do, but chooses not to, right? Like I have loved in the past some alternate world storylines where like there's one where like Superman lands in the USSR, right? And then he grows up being a power of the Soviets. There's the Injustice storylines. There's plenty like this where like Joker tricks Superman into killing Lois Lane and it causes him to lose his mind. He ends up like taking over the world. So there are cool avenues, but I agree with you. It's got to be one of the hardest characters to write and make entertaining in all of comic books, because he's God. He's God, basically.
Yeah, and there's just there's nothing cool about his life really. Like you look at like Spider-Man, who's in a red and blue suit and stuff like that, but it's like, there's Mary Jane that, there's a lot of and there's just, I don't know, man. It's just nothing really cool about Superman, but happy Superman Day.
We're going to talk more Spider-Man, because Spider-Verse is unlike anything I've ever seen. That movie. Oh my God. Devin, I'm reading these spread lines. It says, name a fictional sports legend you love. What are we talking about here?
Just that. Oh, okay. Well, go ahead. You can go first then.
Okay. To me, the fake sports player that I've loved most of my life, and it's not even close, was the cleanup man on King Griffey Jr. Which one was it on the Super Nintendo? Is that Slugfest is 64, King Griffey Jr. base. The one that Griffey was the only licensed player in on Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
That game, if you played with the Florida Marlins, the cleanup guy was named Sluggo Steel, and he was an absolute monster. He's who I won multiple championships with. And I always thought that Sluggo Steel was about the perfect name for somebody batting fourth. So Sluggo would be my favorite ever fictional sports legend. Yeah, I know, dude. I know. Maybe like a Pablo Sanchez from Backyard Baseball. I mean, I could go a lot of characters there. Dimitri, Keisha Phillips was an animal in interior defensive pass rush. Pete Wheeler could freaking fly. If you're talking about running the ball. Yeah, dude. Pete Wheeler was a dog. But Sluggo Steel for me. Who you got?
I mean, dude, I'd probably keep it away from games just because I have so many fictional characters in games I like. But it would probably be either Happy Gilmore.
True.
Probably Happy Gilmore. Calvin Cambridge, like Mike. Can't forget about Calvin Cambridge. Yeah,
I mean, is that true? Can you not forget about Calvin Cambridge? Is that? I mean,
no, you can't.
Like Mike's a fun movie. Like Mike is a fun movie.
Come on, bro. And the kid was in that's in all the 90s movies with the blonde hair. He was in Jerry Maguire and stuff.
Jonathan.
Yeah, he was in. Okay.
That's his
I didn't
name,
think he'd have his name. Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Rivers,
and then probably
Rivers was actually in the pseudo sequel to Like Mike, the direct-to-DVD Thunderstruck, with Kevin Durant. She's an extra in it, and she stares directly at the camera in the one scene that she is in. Yeah, blew it.
They filmed that at my alma mater, BRCC.
She did the
I'm pretty
one.
sure.
She did the one thing that you can't do when you're an extra in a movie, which is look directly at the camera. Great job, Rivers.
My last one would be White Goodman, man. You gotta throw him in there too, White Goodman.
What about you, Jake? You got a favorite fictional character?
Shane Falco.
Yeah.
I think Shane Falco just, living the dream. I mean, he had his opportunity in college, but, chose a different path, but he finds his way back in The Replacements.
I'll also go John Favreau in The Replacements, the SWAT team linebacker. I was always a big fan.
Danny Bateman.
Is that his name?
Danny Bateman. Yeah.
Okay, hell yeah, dude.
And there's something about, Shane Falco also playing in the Sugar Bowl, little Louisiana tie there from Ohio State. So,
what about you, Mario? You got one?
I've always liked Ricky Bobby, man. I think it's a good story.
That's a good one.
Good story about
That's a good
sometimes
one.
having to humble yourself, lessons
one.
about love and friendship. I like Ricky Bobby.
So that's kind of funny, though, because you're talking about the actual moral lessons, the life lessons that you learn from Talladega Nights.
It's a good story.
Not just the jokes.
Yeah, no, he connects with his father. It teaches him about his kids.
Yeah.
It's a good story.
You know who might be the coolest, though? I think we're all missing. Like, in our age group growing up, who we all wanted to be, Benny the Jet Rodriguez.
Yeah, Benny the Jet.
I think it's probably one we're all
dude.
forgetting. Like,
100.
I wanted to be Benny the Jet, put on the PF Flyers, be able to run. He had the open baseball jersey, the whole movie. Like, it was hard to be cooler than him.
Speaking of, I screwed up our Sandlot rewatch last week by forgetting to do something. Everybody's out of town. So we are going to review Sandlot this Wednesday, 9:15. Get ready. It's going to be awesome. Sorry, Jeff,
I wanted to meet anybody that was remotely as cool as Benny the Jet Rodriguez
I know.
in life, like anybody in my life. And like when I was growing up in St. Bernard Parish, like, dude, is there anybody as cool as this dude out here?
As a fellow chubby kid, I always had a soft spot for the great Hambino as well.
Oh, yeah.
That was my guy, dude. Behind the plate there, behind the dish. All right, Dev, what's going on at Spread Quarters today, dude? What's happening?
Oh man, just blessed to be hanging out. I'm not out of town or nothing, so I'm just down here in New Orleans. Gonna go get some red beans and do the normal Monday thing. RBNR Day 161. And that's I went fishing in Hopedale on Saturday. We did good. Probably caught like 30, 40 trout. It was a beautiful weekend in Hopedale.
Did you see Jameis bow fishing over the weekend?
I did.
Any of that, dude. Oh, I love it, dude. Jameis Winston's got to be one of the funniest people ever.
Dude, I've never been bow fishing.
I've only gone once, Dev. That's one of the most fun nights I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
Just slamming beers after a day of like red fishing, then you go back out at night, just slamming beers. It feels like, I don't know, you feel like a real hunter when you get like a big one with the bow. Something about it. Just feels cool.
I like that.
Yeah, we should go. Deb, you have a great day, man.
All right, y'all take care.
Hey, Deb.
Have a good one.
Spread lines. Our guy, Hold the Mayo. The Monday Mayo March here on OTB. When we get back, more Off the Bench.
OTB, OT. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, I'm happy to say we have vehicles in stock and more coming in at no markup. Don't pay over MSRP. Come on down to Corvell Toyota and choose your new Toyota today. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance shops, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
It's on. Have a great weekend. Join me Monday for the Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3. Either reacting to LSU's season, previewing Super Regional Game 3, or getting ready for Omaha. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
.104.5 ESPN and Acura Baton Rouge want to know, how rad is your dad? Upload a picture of your dad doing dad things to 1045ESPNBatonRouge.com now through June 15th for a chance to win him a charter fishing trip for 4, courtesy of LouisianaCharterFishing.com. We'll choose a winner at random on June 16th. Happy Father's Day from Acura Baton Rouge, LouisianaCharterFishing.com, and 1045 ESPN.
OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Champ is saying that, who always accused me of stealing Part of My Take stuff, although I don't really listen to Part of My Take, is saying that they're reviewing movies during the summer as well. Is this true? It's such an unoriginal idea that I figured that, like, somebody that big wouldn't be doing it too. I don't know.
It's like The Simpsons did it with Barstool and us, apparently.
I'm just excited. Even though we got Barstool 2 employees. Never forget that, dude. Okay? But, yeah, I don't know.
They also, look, they stole Chew or Spew, okay?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We have the tapes.
We do. We have the dates. We just can't. We
can't find the tapes.
Danny's got to find them on the computer, but they're there.
Yeah, there's no chance Danny's going to.
Maybe.
He's done with us, dude.
I know they did a whole Baby Gronk thing, and we talked to Baby Gronk weeks ago,
there you
a while
go.
ago.
Yeah. Actually, why did it take so long for the Live Done thing to kick on, though? Because that's why he was here,
Yeah,
right?
it was that day.
Yeah, it was that day he was going to get rizzed up. Or is he doing the rizzing?
I don't know.
He's doing the rizzing. Because it's charisma, right? We learned this last week. Not to brag, I shocked a couple people with that knowledge over the weekend, even a couple young people. I just realized with Deb, too, 161 weeks of RB&R day, that means he secretly hit a 3-year streak, right? 159? Is my math off? 53 weeks in a year?
52 weeks in a year.
Oh, crap. So 156. So 53 weeks. Huh. How about that?
Is that a big surprise for you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I thought it was. I've been thinking it was 53 for years. Alvo, do y'all see all the Baby Gronk dad stuff online? He's so bad. It's going to be in bad for that situation. I mean, we had all these conversations with Baby Gronk and his pops here in the studio a few weeks ago. I still get it that it's, I get why you kind of look at it and you're like, I don't know about this, but I think it's still better be doing what he's doing than to be some absentee father, like uninvolved father. Like, is it ideal? No, but I don't think it's as nefarious as others are trying to make it out. But we'll learn. Well, we'll see. What do they do with the money? How much expectation is he actually putting him to like make the NFL? Like, we'll see. We'll see.
That's a long way away.
I'm going to paint myself as a supporter for now.
Okay.
At a time when it's maybe not the best year, I'm going to paint myself as a supporter of Baby Gronk's dad. But
it's all what Baby Gronk himself, Madden wants.
Sure.
Because like I always appreciated my dad. We worked hard. We ran Independence Stadium. We ran with my little brother in a tire tied behind me. But I wanted to do that. Like my older brother, he gave us the option. My older brother, he did some of it, didn't want to do all of it. Cool. Here's what we can do if you want to do it. And I wanted to do it. Kind of the same way with my boys. Like, if you want to work, we'll work.
Yeah.
Now we're not going to be lazy. I mean, we're going to do something, but there's an extra mile to go. And if you want to go there with me, we'll go. So for me, it's all about what does the child want to do? Like, what's their desire? How much do they want to push themselves?
I agree. And only time will tell with Baby Gronk. Oh, man, dude, we're like out of time on today's show. It's been so much fun. I do want to remind you to go to Ag Tim in Baton Rouge, agtimbr.com, where you can take control of your comfort zone, all your AC, heat, and electrical needs all under one roof. You're in the market for a whole home generator, $1,000 off right now, plus the free whole home surge protection. You can ask about the Star Club membership, where it's a flat fee. They stay on top of it. They come out and just check up your system without, like, you don't have to worry about anything. And then make sure you avoid the big catastrophic stuff down the road. So don't take my word for it. Go look at the online reviews. Ag Tim Baton Rouge, agtimbr.com. They are truly the best. And again, if you don't trust me, well, just do it once, and you're like, okay, T-Bob, I get it now. I really want to talk about Spider-Verse, but may have to.
Hey, that can be our movie review for tomorrow because I've seen it as well.
Well, yeah, I want to have a conversation about it at least, for sure, because it's just, man, never seen anything like it. All right, when we get back, let's close out hour 3. Let's close the show with a little Ask the Bench.
OTB, OT.
All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com. LSU Baseball got a couple of All-Stars chopping it up over the weekend, right? A couple of Golden Spikes finalists, Dylan Cruz and Paul Skeens getting it done. Well, at All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, they always get it done for you, okay? Win your own pair of Golden Spikes, only instead of Golden Spikes, it's the 2023 Sienna minivan. Yeah, that's right, boys. Ask about it. It's incredible. But it's like the minivans, Tundras, Tacomas, Sequoias, Camrys, RAV4. So it's all there for you on the Airline Highway at allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on. Go play. Hey now, you're a rock star.
Yeah.
Get the show on. Get paid. And you're going to feel like you're getting paid with the money you're saving on the per-day rental prices over at All-Star Toyota. So if you got that vacation coming up, go rent that Toyota today. Per-day rental prices, as I mentioned, fantastic. Hard to beat. allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big V and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7, The Tiger.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come home, live Baton
Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. We are recapping the weekend at the box, hopefully starting to preview the College World Series. Join us Monday's AFR 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Welcome back to OTB. Patient Plus Urgent Care, patientplusuc.com, where you will see the difference. Facilities are incredible, y'all. Walk-ins always welcome. You need to get in and get better. You and the whole family like unexpected moments. Digital profiles is a touch of a button away. Go to patientplusuc.com. Right now, it's time for a little Ask the Bench. Brought to you by Cold Curse Life is here at Telter and Blue Moon. Latin Sky Citrus Sweet. Before we get to Ask the Bench, I just want to say real quick on Spider-Verse. Maybe we can expound tomorrow. But I have never seen anything like what I saw in that movie. And make no mistake, I think the story is excellent. I think the emotion they achieved is excellent. I think it's just dripping with a style that blows my mind in every sense. Like, the music is incredible. I've been listening to the soundtrack constantly, but the actual animation is a game changer. It reminds me of like when Snow White drops in the 30s, right? And people are like, what is this?
Yeah.
Or then Sleeping Beauty in the 50s, or Toy Story in the 90s. You know, all of a sudden a 3D animated, what is this? When and again, I cannot, it's going to look great on the TV, Jake, but seeing this thing in theaters, and specifically in the highest quality theater you can, is a true treat. And I would just say my unsolicited advice is to go, like, I went to PLF, right? You know that. Celebrity theaters, PLF theaters that I love so much.
Yacker.
But that Dolby Atmos sound system, the 4K IMAX stream with the laser projection, it's I want to go back immediately. I've never seen anything like it. Just a truly creative achievement that I found myself buzzing as I was leaving the. Yeah, hey, test. Are we back? Can you hear me? Okay. Hey.
Hey.
We have no idea.
That was weird.
What just happened?
That was weird.
But since you're pulling the plug on the Spider-Verse song, yeah, I guess. Like, what a weird thing to get upset about. Ask the bench, are you watching a Drive to Survive documentary about last year's Tour de France? I have not watched any of that yet. I just finished Succession on Friday. That's what I committed my Friday night to, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, I can't wait till Taylor finally finishes, and we'll all catch up about it here in studio. I do need a new show. I need something new. I think I've mowed through everything that was popular. I need something new, so I am on the search right now.
Sometimes to go forward, you got to go back. I'm going to go Sopranos next, since I've never seen it.
You should.
Yeah. And I,
That's a blind spot. It's okay. We all have them.
I agree. Your sound was talking about Your sound was cut for talking about Spider-Man on a baseball Monday. Chill out. We just talked baseball for 3 hours, guys. Okay. Just want to give a little love to something that blew my mind over the weekend. Legitimately, no exaggeration. I was mind blown, and I can't wait to see the next one, which comes out next year.
You know what's funny about the first one? I've never seen it, but I've heard it 1,000 times. It was the car DVD. So the kids watched it. I heard it, but I've never seen it.
It's very good. But this is like Empire to that New Hope. It's just it's an incredible expansion of the foundation that was laid. All right, we love you, and we'll see you tomorrow. Y'all have a great day. Very fun, y'all.
OTB, OT.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco, voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco